Is up, everybody? We're back here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm your host, Javier, out of breath because I basically just walked up one flight of stairs, but that's all it took, honestly. Sorry for the extended little hiatus there. Mario was exporting his show, so I wanted to wait until I could actually record before I got into it. So we're going to try and get into it. The opening dash, of course. But before all of that, let's get into some announcements. Oh, and also, I'm being joined by Mr. Alejandro Arceo.
How you doing?
And my friend from home. But he says friend is kind of, we should use that loosely. Really is my sworn enemy, and we're just having a temporary alliance for today. Mr. Mike Cavalier.
Frenemy is probably more...
Ooh.
Yeah, frenemy is probably proper. He's been on the show before. He's called in a couple times when he barely could speak. You know what I mean? Like, I have to teach him how to, talk. You know what I mean? That's what I have to do with Cav is I have to, teach him how to talk and teach him how to think and walk and everything, kind of like a child. You know what I mean? And he was on for that. He called in a couple times. He also came into the studio once over the summer.
Oh.
And we witnessed his destruction after I schooled him in Star Wars and basically proved to him that episode 1 is better than episode 2. But that's all, that's in the past. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into that too much. We're probably going to at some point, though.
You can feel the tension.
Yeah, you can feel the tension. But first, let's go through some announcements. First of all, if he's still listening, shout out to my guy, John Ostrowski. Happy birthday, buddy. He might be listening. I don't know. Maybe he'll listen to the playback of this because I haven't been able to text him yet for some reason because I'm stupid.
That's a person I would call my friend.
Yeah.
Not you,
right?
but John.
John's a good guy. You know what I mean? That's one thing we can agree on. He's a great guy. One of the best, some would say. One of the best. Some fantastic. Also, nothing lasts forever, Alejandro. Nothing lasts forever. I'm sorry to report that I will no longer be doing the Morning Buzz on Mondays next semester.
Why?
Just the Morning Buzz in general. I just couldn't fit it into my schedule.
Aww.
Couldn't fit it, but, stuff happens. You know what I mean? Stuff happens in life. So I won't be doing the Morning Buzz. Just decided to maybe take one little thing off my plate. But I teased it that way because I wanted to act like I was ending the show. I'm not ending the show. Season 3 of the Digital Dash will be returning over the winter break, the winter recess, some would say. Same time, Mondays, 4 to 7 p.m. That means that my show will be on Christmas Eve, and it'll also be on New Year's Eve.
Ooh.
Spicy, right? Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
I was about
amazing.
to say that, yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for it. I'm pretty sure I'll make it for Christmas Eve. I know I'll be here for New Year's Eve. Just got to check out some things. I'm just going to have as much fun as I can. People will actually have lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what happens on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying, Kev? So most likely it'll just be me, going solo, going lone wolf. Oh, something like that.
Can you do that again?
No, I would
It'd
rather
be one more time.
I would rather not. That was really bad.
It'd be really, it'd be cool if someone was here in the station during New Year's Eve, broadcasting, saying 5, 4.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But mine's 4 to 7, so
Yeah.
I would be very far off from the time.
Yeah.
But still, I'm looking forward to that. But also, no update just yet on whether there will be a season 4 of the Dash. So some things do end. We'll have to see. But I'll probably know by next week or the week after whether or not I'll be back in the spring semester. So don't worry, guys. At least for sure you've got a little bit more. This isn't the end. You know what I mean? Part of the journey is the end, but this is not it just yet. You know what I'm saying? And then lastly, I've joined the SMT team, which Alejandro's probably heard about.
You did?
Okay, he didn't hear about it.
Yo.
I don't know what you have and haven't heard of.
What you do, buddy?
I don't know. What I'm doing, I'm going to be assistant social media director.
Oh.
Really excited about the opportunity, working the radio team. I do like using social media quite a lot.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only reason I got it. I don't really know why they thought it'd be a good idea to hire me.
I was gonna say,
I think it's a mistake. What do you think?
Can you explain something to me? I thought that for a position like assistant social media editor, you wanted somebody that was good at social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why they got him.
So that's why
exactly
I'm confused. That's why they got Javi.
Nah, they got him. I mean, you don't really need experience, so. I mean, it's college for a reason. It's
that
all
was
learning.
such a turn. I thought you were going to be my defender, and then you just turned it on me.
Hey,
You're like,
hey,
oh, actually,
that was like
you
a
don't even know
backhand-
I'm
anything.
in the middle.
Yeah, you're in the middle. You're neutral.
Stuck in the middle.
Yeah, there you go. You're in the middle. You're like that dude from. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into this. The Last Jedi who sells. What is it? What was his name? He was like the gambler. You know what I'm talking about?
Where?
I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah.
Immediately gets into it.
What show?
The movie Last Jedi. It was the gambler guy who turns on them and he's just like neutral or whatever, but whatever. So yeah, season 3 of The Dash going to be happening this winter break. No word yet on spring semester. I will no longer be part of the morning buzz, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I just don't think it works for my schedule. And also, another announcement, I will be changing the morning buzz, though, the name of it, to the morning Charger buzz. I actually spoke to general manager Annabelle Poland about this after the Chargers won, and she said, absolutely, we need to represent and endorse the Los Angeles Chargers. So it's going to be called the morning, the Monday, not Monday, but any day, the morning Charger buzz. So that's an announcement coming exclusive from me.
Can we get away with that legally?
Of course we can. Of course we can. I said so, man.
Get sued.
If King Philip could do it, then I could do it.
If what?
If King Philip Rivers, could do it, I could do it. And then, of course, happy birthday, my friend John. If he's listening, I'll text him later because I'm too lazy to do it. And then also, I'm going to be the assistant social media director, so I'm joining the SMT team here at 90.3 WMSC. So that's really exciting.
But who's the other person?
That is Molly Jenkins.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's really great, and I'm looking forward to working more with her and the rest of the team. But let's get into the opening dash, finally. That's what we usually do on the show. We talk about movies and TV news.
But wait, I have a question.
What's the question?
Why is your show called The Digital Dash?
Why is it called The Digital Dash?
Yeah, I know. I get digital, but what's the dash?
Because we're just running through all kinds of things, man.
That explains why you're always out of breath.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right, man. I'm always out of breath. You know, it's tough out here, as you know.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that sometimes. I also just have no creativity, and I like the Drake song, so then I did that. That's the other thing. But yeah, first off, in movie news, the Avengers trailer was released 2 weeks ago. Of course, I did not have my show last week.
It was pretty
epic. We're gonna save that for a little bit later because it's gonna be the main topic of the show. But pretty cool, right? Right? When you say so, Mr. Cavalier?
I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah,
That's great.
they didn't reveal too much,
which is great.
But they revealed just enough to get you excited.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. And also, another thing, I know he's excited about this. I didn't put a specific source because they're all kind of weird right now, but Venom is getting a sequel. The movie that grossed over $800 million at the box office. Wow. Can you believe that they're going to make a sequel to that?
Well, they have to. I mean, like, it was done, it was written, like, very well. Like,
I thought it was written expertly. Yeah. Actually, like one of the best written films I've personally ever seen in my life. It was.
Yeah. My only problem with that movie was Eddie Brock's character development, like just with him. Because yes, it's called Venom, so in terms of seeing the character Venom, we got what we wanted. But still, like I just feel like the Eddie Brock character could have been written a little bit better.
I think that everything in the movie could have been written better if we're talking about a movie.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
exactly,
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I loved it in a good, bad way.
Oh, okay.
Let me be clear. And I know this guy over here, he loved it. Give us your quick thoughts on that.
I hope they never stop making Venom movies. I hope that they make a sequel, and then they make a third one, and then a fourth one.
It's Sony. They're probably going to reboot it in 6 years.
Yeah, right.
And I'll be here for that, too.
I'll be there for that. There's going to be carnage. I keep saying that. Shout out Woody Harrelson, and sorry if I spoiled it for you.
Honestly, I don't
that
like.
That ending was incredible.
I don't like that Woody Harrelson's gonna be Carnage.
I love it. I don't care.
I don't like Woody Harrelson.
Carnage.
Give me a Carnage spinoff.
Yeah, right. That's what they're probably going to do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But also in terms of more sequels, Doctor Strange is getting a sequel.
Of course.
Reading from Collider now. If my computer would load, that'd be great. It tends to not load when I need it to. From Collider, Marvel developing a Doctor Strange sequel. Scott Derrickson will return to direct. In the wake of the trailer for the franchise capping Avengers Endgame, Marvel has started looking far beyond Thanos' snap, heard round the universe. First, some footage of very much alive Peter Parker popped up in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer that has not debuted online just yet.
When do you think that'll come out?
I don't know. I thought it was going to release for Spider-Verse, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I'm thinking some...
Because it's July,
Bowl,
right?
Yeah,
the movie comes out in July, right?
Yeah.
So then we'll probably be getting around January, February.
I think it'd be cool if it was at the Super Bowl. That'd be kind of dope. But we'll see. But yeah, The Hollywood Reporter is now reporting that the comic book movie giant is finalizing a deal for a Doctor Strange sequel. Scott Derrickson will return as director after helming and co-writing the first Strange film in 2016, with a search for a new writer set to kick off soon. Benedict Cumberbatch will reportedly return as the fancy-caped master of the mystical arts, as well as Benedict Wong's Wong, and, most likely, Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer, assuming she's not currently sitting in a dustpan somewhere. Wow, that was harsh from Collider. Shout out to my guys there.
Who was she? Who was she?
She was the love interest of the first Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, okay.
Rachel McAdams was awesome, and honestly, she's criminally underused in that movie. It actually annoys me when I resaw it over the summer. I was like, this is crazy. She's like one of the best actresses we have, and she's just there for like a little bit. So I hope they use her more. I didn't particularly love the first Doctor Strange.
Really?
I thought it was fine.
I
it's one of my mom's favorites.
Yeah,
I know out of all of them.
I thought it was just a very unique, different. Like it was, because it had to deal with mystical threats and powers, and the everything before that is just strictly physical. But it's cool though. Although, let's see what else. Yeah, I can't remember, but
I think Doctor Strange. It was a nice standalone movie. I think there's a couple of these in the Marvel universe that they're just there's no tie-ins to the rest of the universe, and I think Doctor Strange is one of them. It was just a nice kind of like a reset standalone movie, and I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the sequel.
I guess I'm looking forward to it just because I want to see what they would do. I don't think there's necessarily a lot of like storylines from that character that are particularly noteworthy, but I still think it'd be interesting to see it again, especially after what happened in the last one. So.
All right. Oh, now I want to get since in the trailer they clearly showed Ant-Man. What do you think is up
Avengers
with that?
4, man. We're gonna talk about it soon.
Oh,
we gotta get through everything.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about Doctor Strange.
Oh, word. It's just that
No, I'm not even gonna lie. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no, because it's all Marvel. So
yeah, it's all one. Yeah. But let me just quickly go through the rest of the things. Schindler's List, 25th anniversary. Apparently, it's going to be coming to theaters for its 25th anniversary. Reading from Mental Floss, Schindler's List is returning to theaters for its 25th anniversary. It was first released on December 15th, 1993, and it's still regarded as one of the most important films about the Holocaust ever made. In honor of its 25th year anniversary, Steven Spielberg's classic was returned to theaters for limited engagement beginning Friday, December 7th, according to The Hollywood Reporter. And also, there's another date that for some reason isn't here, but whatever. It should also be back for a little bit this coming weekend, the 21st. But this is obviously an older story. It hasn't been updated for some reason. Whatever. Anyway, Schindler's List. Have you guys seen Schindler's List? Schindler's List. Say that 3 times fast. Have you guys seen it? You have any thoughts?
Do you think I've seen it?
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh wow, that should be a new game we play. Have you seen this movie? Because you haven't seen anything ever. Spielberg came out and talked about how it's really important, especially in today's climate. That's what he said, which is fairly accurate to a degree. And Schindler's List, very important movie. I would agree. It's excellent. I really don't know what else to say about it, so it's kind of cool that they're bringing it back, though. You have any thoughts?
Not really. I haven't seen it. What kind of movie is it?
It's a Holocaust movie. It's about the Holocaust, and it's like black and white. It's about a lot of things, but it's about the Holocaust, just in terms of thematically.
The only Holocaust movie I've probably ever seen is the
Striped Pajamas.
No, I haven't seen that. Like I feel like people kept saying that it was too emotional, so I just couldn't really get into seeing it. But it was what do you call The Pianist?
The what?
The piano player, the pianist.
Am I the only one who thought he said something else?
I know
yes,
you
are.
I was stuttering because I know that you were gonna think that. Like it's just, Adrian Brody.
What does that mean? You knew I was gonna think that?
Because that happens every time I say the title of this movie. People think the piano player, the pianist.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a Holocaust movie I saw freshman year of history class in high school, and that was a very, very good movie. But and also when you said this is what we could play, you could like pull up like the top whatever biggest movies of all time, and then just ask each other, have you seen this? Have you seen this?
I'm gonna do that every time any type of thing gets brought up. It'll happen just by nature.
Because there's posters where of like the top movies you can watch, and every time it's like a movie bucket list. So every time you watch a movie, you can scratch it off.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the next story. Selena. You know who Selena is?
Gomez?
No.
Quintanilla?
Yes. Thank you. That's the second guess, so that's fine.
I'm Mexican, so it's like I should have said Selena Quintanilla first.
That's why I just wanted to see if you would immediately get it.
Yeah.
Reading from Entertainment Weekly. On Tuesday, the streaming service announced... Tuesday isn't last week because I'm a little bit behind. On Tuesday, the streaming service announced Selena the Series, a new scripted bioseries about the late Grammy winner.
Really?
Described as a coming-of-age story, the show follows Selena Quintero Perez as her dreams come true and all the heart-wrenching and life-changing choices she and her family have to make as they navigate success, family, and music.
See, it's like, do you think we need that? Because we already got an emotional Selena.
Did we?
The movie.
Did we?
I loved the movie. It was very, very.
fine.
I liked it a lot.
Am I betraying my Hispanicness if I say I didn't
well,
like that movie?
I mean,
I think I just don't like Jennifer Lopez, so she's not a good actress, so that's my problem.
What?
She's terrible. She's not good.
But in that movie,
she treats herself like she should be paid higher than like
well, that's
Robert
now,
Downey
but
Jr. and
but that's
everyone
now.
else.
But in that movie, I really felt
fine.
like that was Selena Quintanilla in that movie.
fine.
Plus, I
you get a real actress in there, then you'll be like, whoa, this can be great.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I didn't really have a problem.
To each his own.
I loved her in Silver Linings Playbook.
She has a new movie coming out, which I don't
What
like.
did you just say?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, close.
Jennifer. No, we're talking about Jennifer Lopez,
Oh, see, I'm not really listening.
not Jennifer
Yeah,
Lawrence.
instead what Cav likes to do is when people are not paying attention, he likes to talk stuff. He's blowing up our group chat right now and making fun of me, I think. I have to guess because I have 36 messages and some are in all caps.
Wow.
And some saying emphasized. So I'm assuming that he's just making fun of me.
Who?
I'll figure it out later. This kid.
Oh.
That's all he knows how to do. He can't say it to my face, obviously. You know what I mean?
He can talk the
We'll
talk,
see
but
off
can he
air.
walk the walk?
Yeah, he can't walk the walk, clearly. So we'll see how that pans out. Netflix making a lot of moves over the past few weeks. And Firefest... Oh, sorry. Moving on to next story, though. Reading from Pitchfork. You guys ever hear about the Fire Festival?
No.
From a few years ago? New Fire Festival documentary is coming to Netflix. The trailer was released last week. Reading from Pitchfork, Netflix has announced Fire, a new documentary about Fire Festival, the failed luxury music festival promoted by the now incarcerated Billy McFarland and Ja Rule. It's directed by Chris Smith, who made last year's documentary Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond. According to Netflix, the new documentary, quote, gives a first-hand look into the disastrous crash of Fire as told by the organizers themselves. Fire hits Netflix on January 18th, 2019. It's produced by Vice Studios, Library Films, and Jerry Media. So, Cav, have you heard of the Fire Festival before?
No.
You're on Twitter a lot. I'm surprised about that. So basically, it was exactly what I said. It was this luxury for the top 1% of like kids and all that to kind of go on this, cruise thing that would have all these performers and gourmet food. And when they got there, it was definitely not that. And there's a bunch of pictures on social media. Just look up Fire Festival. It was like gourmet food, and it shows like, let me see if I can show this to you real quick. You see that picture, Alejandro? That was like the gourmet food that they promised, and then this is how it came out, Cav.
That's worse than a middle school lunch.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's tough. So everybody, I really recommend just looking up the tweets and all that stuff. And I'm really looking forward to this documentary. Stop it! What are you doing? That was adorable. Moving on though, because we got to get through more things. James Gunn's new movie. Trailer for that came out not too long ago. It's called Brightburn. Let me see. Reading from Entertainment from the UK. Fans horrified by Gunn's abrupt exit from the Guardians franchise will be overjoyed that he has plenty of new material on the way. First up is a chilling and sharp reboot of all the superhero tropes. Brightburn tells the familiar story of a baby sent to Earth and adopted by childless parents. They love him even as his strange powers start to emerge. So far, so similar. But what if the story took a much darker turn? What if the child doesn't want to use his terrifying powers for good? Instead, I hate pop-up ads. So basically, just to summarize, it's basically Superman, but if it was a horror movie, and if the kid just wanted to be a murdering kind of psychopath, and he has like extra superpowers. And it's really interesting. I know James Gunn I've talked about a lot before on this show, and how I thought that situation wasn't really handled properly. And clearly, this is a very creative type of idea. It's probably it'll be the best Superman movie ever made. No, I'm kidding. And I'm looking forward to it. Have you guys seen the trailer at all yet?
Nope.
Okay, you're both useless.
No.
No, I'm kidding. You're perfect, but like him, I knew that.
Let the record show that Javi called me perfect and Alejandro useless.
No, I didn't.
Nope.
That's
He just
not...
pointed at it. See, again, you're not listening.
Yeah, see?
All right. Obviously, he didn't.
He's just waiting for like the real stuff to come on. You know what I mean? He doesn't care about all this. He doesn't pay attention to my show or anything. So much for Friends. Have you guys paid attention to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie developments? I didn't put any link for this.
Not at all, because
the posters
seems,
only
seems
from
boring.
your tweets.
That
okay,
seems boring.
so the posters are. Oh wow, you do read my tweets. Caught you. there was a bunch of posters released, and they look horrifying. The end. That's all I have to say about it. And I haven't dreaded a trailer release. Like, usually I'm excited for trailers. I don't want this thing to ever come out. I'm scared.
So
they gave him like giant legs.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks really bad.
It's like,
I don't like to judge things based off of just the exterior type of stuff like that. I hate when people do that, but.
Yeah.
This is like such a small thing for you to mess up. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're doing the same thing because people reacting the same way like they reacted when Detective Pikachu, the trailer came out.
Right, but that didn't look like they changed it. It's not like they gave Pikachu giant buff arms like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
That would be sick, though.
It would be kind of sick. But I'm just saying, it's not like they changed the actual body makeup of him. In this, it's like, I mean, who knows? Maybe the trailer will come out and it looks awesome.
I feel like in general, Sonic does have large legs.
Not really, though. Not really. It just looks awkward. Just check out the poster.
Yeah. It's just very fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but when it comes down to it, we're going to go see it.
Sure we are. He thinks we're going to see everything.
I know nothing about Sonic whatsoever.
Sonic's the GOAT. That's what he is. But moving on to another story.
I thought he was a hedgehog. Come on, that was pretty good. Come on, it was pretty good.
Moving on. So, you guys watch The Punisher? No, good, because it's not in the thing. Okay. No, that's okay, but it is coming back for season 2, coming to Netflix. They announced this January. I didn't like the show. I bring up this story just because I wrote a review for season 1 on the Montclarian. And I felt like I was famous for a little bit because so many people texted me being like, why didn't you like the show? It was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, am I a real reviewer? Not at all, because it was a poorly written review on my part, of course. Don't go read it on the Montclarian. Read everybody else's stuff, though, if you get the chance. And yeah, you guys care about The Punisher at all?
No.
Here's the funny thing. I don't know. There's just so much out there. I just don't feel, it's hard to watch everything. But also, it's still kind of find it funny that I do like the first Punisher film, even though it had nothing to do with comic Punisher, but it was a little bit different. I like that with
Thomas Jane.
Yeah, I really like that.
I
really like that movie.
I watched that with some family when I was in Virginia, and it was hilarious. You know,
what do you mean? It was sad.
No, it wasn't. It was really funny, dude.
Whole family got it.
No, that part's like sad and messed up. I'm talking about some of the lines later on. There's some line that's like, "May God help you," and he just looks really like serious into the camera. He's like, God's gonna sit this one out. You know, it's just great. Like, you have to look up. Cav, I'm gonna show you a video later. The Punisher fight with the Russian. It's a scene in the movie. It is the best fight scene ever crafted by mankind. It's remarkable. And then also when he kills like the guy, like he gets his revenge. He says, "You killed one of my sons," and then you hear the other one screaming in the background, go, "Ah!" And an explosion, and he says, and then he looks serious again into the camera. He's like, "Both." It's the best. It's really great. I'll show you guys that stuff later. But yeah, so for those who care about Punisher season 2, it's coming to Netflix in January.
Didn't Daredevil get canceled?
Yes, and that's one of the things is this is probably gonna get canceled after this comes out. It's probably just like they already produced it. It was already in post production, that type of stuff.
Iron Fist too.
Iron Fist, although Iron Fist people didn't like. No. We'll see how people react to that.
What about the Defenders? Do you think they'll still put them in there?
No, the Defenders, they didn't even announce when they weren't all getting canceled. They were like, "Oh, we don't know if it's going to be back." And that was like a year and a half ago.
Probably just a one-time thing?
Yeah, it was probably just a one-time thing. Yeah. It'll probably revert back to them for Disney Plus at some point, I assume. They're probably not going to let these characters just disappear. Yeah. They probably want to have something for their service. What else? Let's see here. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes is coming to home video in March 26, 2019. It's anime. I love it. I've talked about it ad nauseum on the show. I'm not going to get into it too much because 1, Cav doesn't care. 2, I don't think a lot of people care, honestly. And 3,
I've seen a few episodes. It's pretty good.
It's really great. You got to finish it, man. I can talk about that for hours.
Did you see the movie? It was a limited release.
That's the thing. It's coming like March 26th. Yeah. I didn't get to see it. I want to see it, and so in March is, I guess, when I have to wait to see it. But oh well. So that's really exciting. I can't wait to see. I heard it was really good. Next up, we got two final stories. One of them is really funny, but the next one is Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are joining Pixar's Onward. It's their next movie. Reading from CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your emotions. Pixar has set a March 6, 2020 premiere date for its new original feature film, Onward, and announced 4 key voice cast members. Actor Tom Holland announced his casting on Instagram and teased his marvelous co-star, later revealed to be Chris Pratt. You see what they did there with the pun? The studio also announced that Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Veep and Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water, will lend their voices to the film as well. Onward will tell the story of two teenage elf brothers living in a suburban fantasy world who set out on a quest to find out if there's still a little magic left out there, according to Pixar.
Huh.
Interesting, right? The story, director Dan Scanlon said in a statement, was inspired by his relationship with his own brother. At Pixar, we try to create stories that come from some kind of personal truth, Scanlon said. Scanlon previously directed and worked on 2013's Monsters University. For those,
I love that film.
I like it. I think it's aging well too. I think it's not like a laugh out loud funny movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not their best.
It grows on you. It makes you feel good.
It's something you can just put on and be like, yeah, that's college. Like it works. It's not overly hilarious, but it's kind of creative and stuff. It's not their best, but it works. I think.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever see a Monsters Inc. 2?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll get Incredibles 3 before that, but I don't know. I never know with them because Incredibles 2 for some reason took like 15 years to make.
Yeah, I doubt we're ever gonna get an Incredibles 3.
Yeah,
because they're all pretty old.
Indeed, yeah, they are all pretty old.
The actors.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. I found out the other is like 70 years old or 69 years old.
I
had no idea. I think I texted you about this.
But he looks so young.
Yeah,
he looks great.
He looks great. He's killing it.
What's your favorite Samuel L. Jackson performance?
The Negotiator.
I like him.
I don't know actually. Probably my favorite, Deep Blue Sea.
Die Hard.
That's a joke.
Die Hard for me.
Oh, Die Hard with Vengeance. Oh, he's phenomenal. The first like 40 minutes of that movie are amazing. I will fight anyone. The rest of the movie, but oh my gosh, it's so, I can't even say the jokes he makes in that movie. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's it for that story. And lastly, just a funny one. Miley Cyrus confirms that she has a role in Black Mirror.
What?
The new season from The Hollywood Reporter. After spending all week teasing that one of the biggest stars in music was going to visit his Sirius XM show to debut a Christmas duet with co-host Robin Quivers, Howard Stern finally pulled back the curtain to reveal friend of the show Miley Cyrus on Wednesday morning. And while the Nothing Breaks Like a Heart singer's run of Silent Night with Quivers was good for laughs, Cyrus also revealed some major news during her hour-long performance. And one of them being, of course, that she's going to have some type of role in Black Mirror, which is hilarious because Black Mirror very dark and messed up, and just to see her in that, I wonder if that's going to be a bit jarring because people don't like these big celebrity cameos. I know people aren't a fan of them. I know everyone freaked out, kind of not really didn't deserve it for Game of Thrones when Ed Sheeran popped up for a second. Like everyone lost it on the internet, but I'm just saying like people really do lose it for this stuff, and we'll see what happens with that. What do you think? You have any takes? No, none.
No, I don't know much about Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm. You think Cav's still paying attention?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't. Now we're going to move on to some quick gaming news. No break in between. The founder of HQ Trivia and also the co-founder of Vine was found dead. This is from GameIndustry.biz. The CEO and co-founder behind mobile quiz game platform HQ Trivia has been found dead this past weekend. Colin Kroll was pronounced dead by police at 12:18 a.m. on Sunday morning after an apparent overdose in his New York apartment, Time reports. So yeah, R.I.P. You guys ever played what's it called, HQ at all?
Yeah, I think everyone did.
Yeah, everyone
at least
did at
for
one
a day.
Point. Everyone did at some point. I would agree. So yeah, I don't want to start off everything on such a sour note, but that happens. And also the co-founder of Vine, which I'm a big fan of, and I'm a big fan of just watching Vines on YouTube because that's the only way you can find them.
It's sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
Don't you just love? I don't know what I was gonna say. Moving on. You're really the worst. Like, I thought you were coming on the show to prove me wrong that everyone was a better guest than you, and you never speak.
What would you like me to comment on?
I don't know. Just speak.
Hello.
Unbelievable. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. The big main thing that happened last week was, of course, the Game Awards, which I'm a big fan of. But just to recap some of the awards that happened, Game of the Year went to God of War. Best Game Direction went to God of War. Best Ongoing Game to Fortnite. Best Narrative to Red Dead Redemption 2. Best Art Direction to Return of the Obra Dinn. Best Score, Red Dead Redemption 2. Best Audio Design, Red Dead Redemption 2. Best Performance, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. Games for Impact, Celeste. Best Independent Game, Celeste. Best Mobile was Florence. Best VR, AR, who cares about that? Best Action Game to Dead Cells, which I was a little bit surprised by. Best Action Adventure Game to God of War. Best role-playing game, Monster Hunter, and so on and so forth. And you guys can check all of the winners and whatnot. And I really enjoyed the show. I watched it with you, actually. Not with him. It was just on my computer as he ignored everything that I said, as usual. Yep. And I really enjoyed it. I really do think the Game Awards are going to be like the biggest kind of most successful award show that we have. I think that they have a kind of like I mentioned this last week, where they're one of the few award shows that they both can recap and, you know, look in retrospect about the whole year, but also look into the future at the same time, which is something I don't think the Oscars or the Emmys or, you know, MTV Awards, whatever it be, do very well. And that's what I think is really a big benefit of theirs. And also I think they get their audience, and they're also not snobs. That's the other thing. They actually know how to determine what's the best, unlike certain other award shows. But also a bigger thing from them, reading from Newsweek, the Game Awards viewership broke records again and doubled last year's ratings. The Game Awards, there were 26.2 million live streams for the Game Awards 2018 globally. This is a 128% increase from last year's 11.5 million streams. The Game Awards stream on Twitch was one of the company's highest traffic streams ever, with 1.13 million concurrent viewers at its peak. Peak concurrent viewers across all platforms is estimated to be 4 million. So that's a really big deal. It's exciting. I know none of you guys really probably care about the Game Awards, but I do, so I just wanted to mention that real quick.
Well, Jav wouldn't let me watch the Game Awards. He was over my house watching them, and he had it on his computer, and every time I would, try to watch, he'd pull it away from me and just say, "No, you don't care. Go watch
What is it that you were working on that was past due?"
A very important paper.
Yeah, that's right. The end.
I'm working on it right now.
Are you working on one right now?
Yeah, it's due tomorrow by 11:59 p.m. 3,000 words. I'm at 1,200. Yo, but you know what game I'm definitely psyched for?
What's that?
Mortal Kombat 11, yo.
Okay, so I was just about to get into that.
Yes.
There was a lot of reveals and announcements, but the biggest ones, and of course you guys can go check them out, just Google it or whatever, but I put three of the biggest ones that I thought happened. Mortal Kombat 11, a brutal, kind of CGI, not CGI, not like real gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the word right now. Trailer was shown off, and it was really violent. As usual, as you can expect from Mortal Kombat, it's still developed by NetherRealm Studios, who did the Injustice series and did Mortal Kombat 9, which kind of brought the franchise back.
I really like Injustice.
Those games are great.
Yeah.
Arguably some of the best fighting games you can get on the market right now.
But
people are excited for this one.
Here's the really cool thing is that even though these are, if you're just playing fights, it can get really boring after a while and repetitive because it's the same thing. But the reason why I look forward to is because of the I guess story campaign, if you will, because it's just like it's a story. It's still telling something really interesting.
Tried, you know what
they
I mean?
really try.
Because one of the cliches,
because cutscenes, it's all cutscenes, but even though
it feels like a story though.
Yeah, even though you're mainly fighting, you still get to watch and really think about all the scenes. Which
is cool because it really spits in the face of people who thought that fighting games should never or could never have good stories.
Yeah.
And that they usually just focus on, gameplay, which is fair, of course. But, I think it all started with Mortal Kombat 9, which is a game that I played. And I don't even like the Mortal Kombat series particularly. I don't hate it or anything like that. But I played that game because it just had so much content. It actually had like a 7-hour-ish story that was like, think of it as like your cheesy B movie from the 80s. That's how I viewed it. But it worked and it's entertaining, especially if you like the franchise. And then they had all this unlockable content. I was like, this is how you do a fighting game. You don't shortchange people. You know what I mean? Just because the fighting's good doesn't mean you have an excuse to make sure you have no other content. I think that's silly, and I think that people need to stop giving some of these developers the benefit of that when it comes to that. Be like the Smash Bros. And Mortal Kombats. Don't be like the Marvel vs. Capcoms and the Street Fighters sometimes. Street Fighter 4 or 5, which infamously had like no content when it came out at all, aside from the fighting. It was unbelievable. I was like, what are you like? This is Street Fighter 5? Is that even Cav probably knows what Street Fighter is. And for you to release that game and just not even have a classic mode and all that stuff, it's just really sad. So yeah. Really excited for that. Another announcement. You ever heard of the Persona series?
No.
Well, it's a big JRPG. You have, really?
No,
he hasn't. It's a big JRPG franchise. Huge, actually. I haven't played it yet because it's one of those that I'm told will consume my life. So maybe I'll just save it for winter break. Who knows? But Joker from Persona, this is a big announcement, was revealed that he's coming to Super Smash Brothers. One of the reasons this is huge is because they have no relationship with Nintendo, unlike some of the other characters that are in that. Like, none whatsoever, really. So I'm really curious, to find out how that happened. And that's one of the first DLC characters that will be rolling out for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to get the DLC, but I'm really enjoying Ultimate so far. It's just crazy to be playing as Pac-Man fighting against Cloud from Final Fantasy. Like, that's just crazy to think about.
I want to Switch so bad, but they're so expensive.
They are, man.
I was kicking Javi's butt in Super Smash last night.
Were you?
It was great. It was phenomenal.
He was begging for mercy.
Yeah, he picked a random character and immediately just destroyed. He never played Smash Brothers.
I played Smash Brothers once before last night.
It was remarkable. Just destroyed me, really. It was brutal.
And to be honest, like, I'm hooked.
You're kind of in.
I'm hooked.
You're
in.
Hooked. See,
I'm so excited that they brought back Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah, Smash Brothers is two things. One is the reason why I think it's the best fighting game series is because it's the perfect hybrid between hardcore and casual, where you can, no, not making fun of Cav here, but you can like button mash and just run around and just do things and still kind of do damage and have a fun time.
But even then,
I mean? And then hardcore people like don't even let you hit the ground, and there's like a lot of depth to it. Yeah. So it's a perfect like hybrid. It's a perfect party game and also hardcore fighting game that you'll see at tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah, not 99% of the fighting games I play, I just button mash.
Yeah, but usually like it doesn't go well, right? Like it's
just I suck at all video games I try to play.
I learned from button mashing. I learned. I'm like, oh, doing this over and over does this. So I learn, and then I just look at the for Mortal Kombat and Justice, because it's made by the same people. I don't know. It's like muscle memory. A lot of it's just so easy to remember, and I eventually I know which attack moves I want to use.
So I learned the other way. I need someone to tell me the exact moves of what everything does. Like just button mashing, like I won't, like I just smash them. I don't remember what does what. So I need someone like Javi to tell me what does what and when to use what, and that's how I learn. Which is what was going on last night.
And yeah, it was something for sure. And also, Rada, no, I didn't say Florence. I just opened up the group chat. What is going on?
Don't worry about it. Don't read them.
Shout out to my friends Kayla Marcado, Shannon Pilata, and Rada Varma, who are, I guess, listening.
Whoa,
and Alex Eichler.
All right, there it is.
All right. I just didn't know if like he might be asleep. Remember, like
he just sent a message.
I know.
See?
I haven't checked, man. I put my.
It's like you're hosting a radio. It's like you're hosting a radio show or something.
Yeah, it's something like that, right? But last for the gaming news, they also revealed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So there's a couple of big reasons. Oh, and my last thing I want to say about Smash Brothers is that, one, I think it's perfect hybrid, and it's also kind of like the fantasy football of gaming, where it's really just this brilliant marketing kind of product when you think about it, where it basically not only is it just fun, but it also, inadvertently will just get people interested in all the Nintendo franchises and other franchises. People don't know who Ness is and Lucas, not really. You know what I mean? Most people don't know the Earthbound series, but people know, I know who Ness is because of Smash Bros. So people might be curious about the series. So that's one little
I thought you were just going to say you get sick of it after a year and never want to see it again.
That too. You get reminded that when you play against someone who's actually good, and you get reminded, this is the most miserable experience of my life. Fantasy football is terrible. Why do we waste our time with it? But last announcement from the Game Awards that was big was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. A couple big reasons I thought this was big. One, it's a big Marvel game that's coming out. It's being developed by Team Ninja, who worked on, for those who don't know, Team Ninja's behind the Dead or Alive and the Dead or Alive series, which is probably the most problematic gaming franchise out there, especially for fighting games. So everyone can just Google Dead or Alive and you'll probably understand what I mean about it. It's got some questionable aesthetic choices for the female characters in that game. Let's just say that. But it's a good series gameplay wise. And they also did Neo, which came out last year, which was excellent.
Now, for those who, I know, but for those who don't know, what platform is it on?
Which one?
Marvel Alliance 3.
That's what I was just getting to. It's coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch in 2019, which was really surprising to me because Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the first two games, were like cross-platform. They were on everything. They were on Game Boy. You know what I mean? They were on Game Boy, PSP. So they were on everything, and I'm really surprised about that. And also people were surprised that we didn't get info at the Game Awards about the Avengers Project, which is a game being developed by Eidos Montreal. Being developed by Crystal Dynamics with the help of Eidos Montreal. For those who don't know those names whatsoever, which I guarantee you maybe 0.5%
I know
of the population know who they are. Crystal Dynamics have been working on the new Tomb Raider franchise, the gritty reboot in the vein of Uncharted, and Eidos Montreal, they worked on Deus Ex. And it's also being published by Square Enix, who's a very famous publisher responsible for Final Fantasy, among many other things. So looking forward to finally hearing about that, and I was surprised that they announced this game from this other developer. So the Avengers Project, still nothing on it. We got a tease from it from like 2 years ago, and I was 100% certain that we'd get something from the Game Awards, but we didn't. I was still delighted about this. I know Cav saw my reaction because it was like one of the first things they showed. It was completely out of nowhere. No reports at all in the entire industry were suggesting this. They were like, yeah, we'll get some Avengers Project stuff. Nobody thought that it would be this out of nowhere from a developer that hasn't worked on anything kind of like this, or at least with these kind of properties, I should say. They mostly deal with more Japanese properties. So that was really exciting. But yeah, that's for the gaming news and just the news in general. And last, I'm going to get through my reads of the week. First up, DeAndre Hopkins is finally out of the QB wilderness. Now what? This is from ESPN, written by Mina Kimes. I've mentioned her a couple times on the show. Basically, anything she writes, you should read. The end. I would recommend following her on Twitter. She's a great follow, too, there, if you're a big fan of sports and the Seahawks, too. She likes tweeting about the Seahawks. And she's also just really funny. Like, it's actually frustrating how good she is at Twitter.
I remember she had the punt competition tweets.
Yeah, it's like, it's unbelievable, really. Like, I don't know how someone could be so creative when it comes to punting. You know what I mean? Like, it's just unbelievable. She also does Etch-a-Sketches really well. I don't know if you've seen that. It's actually kind of incredible. She, like, has, like, on her website or something like that, like, Etch-a-Sketches that she's done of, like, every athlete. It's pretty incredible. So, yeah, I recommend checking that one out. Next up, why Oscar host has become the least wanted job in Hollywood. This is from The Hollywood Reporter, written by Stephen Galloway. Basically, a kind of like a report on exactly what it says, which is why people don't jump at the chance to host the Oscars. And, of course, this is kind of an even more relevant piece, even though it happened before it. But this comes after, Kevin Hart, who was supposed to host the Oscars, stepped down after some homophobic tweets were discovered. And he, more importantly, in my opinion, just didn't really apologize for them at all. He kind of just, he didn't use the right choice of words. And, once again, this is kind of becoming a narrative with Disney, which is what I think they need to kind of figure out, because first they had the Roseanne thing, then they had James Gunn, and now Kevin Hart. So people are definitely looking at now, what's up with these guys? Do they not do the proper vetting and all that? So I'm really curious to see how that, shakes out. And then the last story, as we just passed the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, is Q&A, discovering the true gritty of the Flyers' lovable mascot. This is from Sports Illustrated, written by Charlotte Wilder, another one of my favorite writers. It's exactly what it is. I literally only put this one because you were here. And it's funny. It's just a Q&A. And really describe, because in all seriousness, it is like the most successful mascot launch I've ever seen, and I'm in love with him. He's the best.
Has there ever been any mascot that has just transcended sports to the
just
point
captured
where,
the monoculture and all that stuff, and just totally ascended past what mascots should be? And this has become like a meme, but also a self-aware meme. You know what I mean? It's like really incredible.
I'm pretty sure he had like a Q&A in the New York in Times Magazine, I think. Mm-hmm. Time Magazine.
New York Times Magazine?
I thought it was New York Times.
New York Magazine, probably.
No, it was Time Magazine.
Okay. Oh, Time Magazine. Okay. There's a lot of times out there, man.
But I mean, it's been incredible. I honestly didn't think anything of it when he was released, because it was just another mascot, and the Flyers, hadn't had a mascot. They released Gritty, and I thought, oh yeah, probably better than Benjamin, the dog that the Sixers have, or I think Scout is the Eagles one. But and all of a sudden, it just absolutely took off. I remember just scrolling through my timeline and just seeing a picture of Gritty before Flames doing
it really is incredible, because it's like, I'm being so serious. Like, this is actually incredible. I put this because you're here, but it's also just, it's kind of a remarkable story. Like, it became a meme and everyone's like, this is terrible. I personally thought it was funny, because I want something different with a mascot. I don't need to see a bird or whatever it is for the 18th time. You know what I mean? And instead, they just made this blob that's like super good on social media. This orange blob with hair, essentially, is what Gritty is. But yeah, so I recommend checking that out if you guys want. But lastly, last week was the last issue of the Montclarian newspaper. I'm the assistant entertainment editor there. I mean, there's really lots of good stuff. They put out a bunch of reviews last week. A great student profile was out. Just everything, honestly. We have some early reviews of Bumblebee and Aquaman. Or not Aquaman, I'm sorry. What am I forgetting? But Bumblebee is in there, along with a bunch of other stuff. I didn't write anything this week, but so I really recommend you guys check that out. You can find the hard copy on campus. And also you can check out the articles on themontclarian.org. But yeah, it was the last issue, guys. And honestly, I think we ran out with a bang. And
last issue for the semester, right?
Last issue for the semester. And speaking of, the paper, my friend, Mr. Robert O'Connor, the entertainment editor there, should be stopping by soon. So until then, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we get back, we're going to go through Avengers 4. We're going to talk about the end of the semester and some of our most anticipated things of 2019. So stay tuned, guys. Listen to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And what's up, guys? We're back here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. listening to The Digital Dash, hosted by me, Javier Reyes. I'm being joined by Mr. Alejandro Arceo.
Hi.
My friend, Mr. Mike Cavalier.
Hello.
And also, behind me at the mic, for some reason, you could sit down if you want for a little.
I go over there?
Yeah, you can sit down.
There's a note on it that says no DJs or whatever.
Really? I didn't see that.
It says...
Does it say, like, doesn't work or something? I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, guest mic only, not DJ, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Am I even a guest at this point? Because I feel like I'm on all the time.
Yeah, you're like the... I don't know what
co-host?
you are. You're like the elf on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I mean, that's...
no.
I did wear the elf costume. All you had to do was just put me on a shelf and we'd be lit. But, yeah.
No, you just, like... He just decides when he wants to come on. Even though he knows I like tweeting out who's coming on, he just comes on whenever he wants.
I know. You never asked me in the first place if I want to come on.
That is a lie and a half.
You did do it this time, and I said I would get back to you, and I did not do that because I'm an idiot. So, but you knew that already. But
yeah,
I said I'd debate it. Yeah.
All right. I'm like,
but you don't do it every
I'm like
week.
2 for 5.
You don't do it every week. You do it like every other week.
It's like the 5 times you've come on this semester.
Is it
I've
5
asked you
times?
Twice. I think I'm gonna check actually. I have to write down the updated. I keep track of how many times and who's come on the show. Actually, I call it the mafia. But since we're still waiting for Mr. Robert O'Connor to come back here, Mr. Mike Cavalier, he's got some scratch-off tickets.
You want to do this right now?
Wait a minute. Can we do this?
I don't see why not. As long as you're not promoting it and you're just doing it for your own fun.
Yeah, so we're just gonna
by no means does this show promote gambling, but we're just gonna do it because it's fun.
Yeah, 90.3 WMSC, we do not promote gambling.
It's just for our own personal choice, and we are above 18.
Does Kate know you're doing this? Does Annabelle know you're doing this?
I didn't know I was doing it. He just decided to do it. I don't know. I'm a
it's
little
all
nervous.
It's all in good fun, man. We mean
I mean, they can't see that. People can't see it anyway.
All right, we'll just.
Because it's radio.
How about we just not do it?
Yeah, let's just not do it then. Probably. Let's just talk. What's up, guys?
I still want to know though.
We'll do it off the.
Do it during the next commercial break.
I don't know. Well, because sometimes it can be weird here, and it's like certain things. Like you can't say like certain phrases, even if they're not curse words. I want to be careful. I don't want.
You can't say the big game. I hear like the actual name for the big game. At the end of the NFL season.
You can't say that.
I don't know if you can say.
I can say NFL. I can't say the big game.
Really?
I can't say the actual name of the big game.
So there was actually this church wanted to do like a big game watch party, and it was like whatever. It cost like $5 or like all the money like went to the church or whatever, and the NFL sued to have it shut down.
Wow.
It's almost like the NFL is a caricature of what everybody thinks the NFL is. Like it's just.
It's almost like the NFL is what exactly everybody thinks.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. That's unbelievable. Wow.
I mean, I feel like it's rigged to. Isn't the NFL rigged to some point?
I mean, if you're a Pats fan, then a little bit, but.
I don't know. It depends on what. I don't know. It depends how you think about life. Really, like that depends how you view life. Sometimes. All right. You know when I was actually convinced it might have been rigged? The year that the Seahawks made the Super Bowl against the Patriots, when it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was when the Cowboys had like the Dez Bryant, you probably know this more, where Dez runs onto the field and that should be 15 yards. They don't call pass interference at the end of the game. So Dallas ends up being the Detroit Lions. So it's like, who would the NFL want to win that game? Then the next game, you have the designate card thing, which I don't want any Cowboy fan to play that. You shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. You lost.
Give you a little.
That's how I consider that.
Give you a little update.
You lost against the Lions.
Give you a little update on Robert O'Connor, who will soon be on the show.
Yeah, what's up?
He's trained. He's doing. He's showing Thomas and Sharif how to fix an article.
Okay.
And he'll be right in.
Okay, cool. So we could talk about Avengers in a sec. But
so give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, no problem. He's doing, and he's here.
Oh, that was quick. All right, hold on a second.
And he's here. But yeah, and that was the season, and also this was when Bostic, I forgot his first name.
Mike.
The famous, like the one that had an interception against Seattle, and then the guy just totally for no reason like slid or whatever when he could have gotten another 30 yards from Green Bay. You might not remember this. This is a deeper cut. And then also when they didn't recover the onside kick and the guy goes like this and it goes straight through his hands. Look up Bostic. You'll probably find it. That's when I was like, maybe the NFL's a little rigged. I don't know. But yeah, in general, it's
I mean, all-time greatest playoff game was when the Bengals completely blew it after like Burfict got the.
You talking about the 17 personal foul calls?
Yeah, the 45 yards of
that is one of the
they
best
got
games.
To put him into a field goal range.
That was really great. I have to admit. But yes, Anthony, are you staying by for now?
I'll stay a little bit. I'll stay till commercial break.
All right, cool. And what's it called? Mr. Robert O'Connor, the illustrious,
Hi.
the wholesome,
It's the finale.
the pure one, as some would say.
Not many. Would
Definitely not the pure one, according to him. Is going to join us, and he's going to talk about the end of the semester, movies we're looking forward to in 2019. And I'm sure he'll have the most indie of indies that he'll mention. But I'm still looking forward to it. He's been on the show a lot, and he's a fan favorite, and he's great. He's fantastic.
And this is my last time ever. I just finished my last class, so
it's your last time as the entertainment editor on the show. I will find a way. I will find a way. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Here on 90.3. And what's up, everybody? We're back here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And I'm being joined by my friend Alejandro Arceo.
What is up?
Who's got his show coming up at
7 o'clock.
I got scared for a second because that's 6:31 here, and I was like, what? And also, my sworn enemy, Mr. Mike Cavalier.
Hello.
How you doing over there?
Oh, doing pretty well.
Doing pretty well?
Yeah.
So Mr. Robert O'Connor is not back for some reason. I should have just like played another song, shouldn't I have? I'm really bad at radio. I don't know why. Like that's what we're realizing. I'm just terrible at this. Like I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, he'll be back, and we're gonna talk about, the end of the semester blues. But first, since you guys are still here, let's talk about Avengers. Let's talk about Avengers 4. That was good. I liked it. That was good. I probably could cue up the trailer, but I'm not going to. Everyone's probably seen it. So yeah, they revealed, this is 2 weeks ago, the trailer for Avengers 4, which is coming out in April, now April 26th.
First they said May, now April, because, why was it that we got it a couple days earlier this
last time, you mean?
Yeah, for Avengers 3.
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's because they realized they were putting too many of their movies out at the same time. So they figured, let's just get Avengers ahead of, I think it was Solo was coming out in May.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't want it to be squished by Avengers and Deadpool, because Deadpool 2
was in May,
moved up its release date, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot. That happened a while ago. But that's why they did that. This time it's just they're just doing it, I guess. I don't know. But honestly, they probably do have other movies, so maybe they're just thinking space it out more. I mean, they have everything. The top 10 highest grossing movies, spoiler alert, are going to be from Disney next year.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
So what really struck you from the about the trailer? What did you see in the trailer that you just can't wait to see?
Well, my first reaction, and Cav brought this up a little bit earlier, is just I loved how little they showed.
Yeah.
And I think that tells you how much the plot is. Because if you reveal too much, it will just kind of like if you show, say, the theory is that it's time travel or other dimension stuff, right? If you show any type of footage from that, that shows what the plot is. That might spoil what the plot is, or maybe that's like just a minor thing, and we don't know what they choose because we still don't know. Like maybe it's like only a minor thing, but they do show at the end of the trailer, of course, they show the thing with Ant-Man. And they're surprised that he's there.
Yeah, because they thought he died, I guess.
They thought he died. Some people think it's some quantum realm time travel thing going on, where like he's back now or something like that. But I think it's more that they don't understand how he's.
Did you see all the memes where it was like who you thought was gonna beat Thanos, which was Captain Marvel, and then they just show a picture of Ant-Man like, "Hi."
Oh yeah, I know, right?
I can't
just
wait.
Just crawl into his ear lobe or whatever, and then you're good.
Yeah, and then expand on.
I actually thought that was. Okay, first off your point, we didn't even see Thanos in the trailer.
Like, all we see him is walking.
We just see his big hand.
Yeah, we just see his hand walking. The glove is still all messed up.
Yeah.
And we see his armor.
Do you think he actually died and he's just like in a? Do you think he actually did die?
Who?
Thanos.
No.
No.
I think he might be hurt. I don't know. There's something about the.
I mean, he's like an axe
thing.
to the chest.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. Yeah, he did.
How strong was that axe?
I know, man. Shout out my guy Thor.
Not strong enough.
He's never faced me twice. He beat you already. He's never fought me twice. Another thing, I remember some tweet that was like, why Thanos acting like he the 2001 Lakers hanging his jersey in the rafters and all that. That was really funny. But I thought that another takeaway was just really ominous trailer. And just in general, like I said, they didn't show anything. There's really no action scene in the entire trailer. Now compare that to the first trailer for Infinity War, and it's like, what on earth? They showed everybody. They had some action sequences. They showed the battle in Wakanda. Like, they showed that there was a thing going on there. It's like, oh my gosh. This one, like, 45% of the time of it is just Tony Stark talking to a helmet in CGI space. You know what I mean? Saying how he's about to die. Did you see Cav, you remember the one meme I sent you?
Which one?
The one that was like, it was like one of those factoid like graphs, like where the font, you know what I mean, and then it says like Doctor Strange actually looked into the future and saw that and saved Tony Stark because he saw that he would die of suffocation and thought that it would be funny. That was hilarious. But we know that he's gonna be a big part of this, so he's not dying there.
All we know is that they have a plan.
Yeah. Or Doctor Strange has a plan.
Well, so does Cap. Because Cap,
Cap knows something right now. Yeah, because he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
This is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But time travel, like that's crazy. But like, who of these heroes can time travel? Like,
I don't know.
Strange.
What the heck?
Strange. The quantum realm stuff from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But what the heck is
prevailing theory is?
What's Captain Marvel's power again?
She's just like. Also, she's got energy. She can fly. She's super strong. All that type of stuff. Think Superman-esque, except energy blast stuff.
There wasn't even a hint of her in the trailer.
No, that was not too surprising, just because it makes sense. You just showed another one on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago, so it would be weird if you showed her again. It'd be a little redundant. Not to say that I don't want to see more of Captain Marvel. I'm excited for that movie, but I do think that it'd be a little strange if they decide to make her prominent in that too, because I assume she's probably featured very heavily. I bet she saves Tony. I bet that's what happens.
That's what I was thinking.
She probably comes across her.
Who do you think is gonna die in the film? Do you think Cap or
here we go.
Or
now,
Iron Man?
Now you're speaking my language. Iron Man will not die.
Do you think they're just gonna write him off because his contract's
I think
up?
he retires and he has some type of off-screen role as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know how Nick Fury's like,
but isn't
alive?
S.H.I.E.L.D. done?
Well, you know what I mean. I'm saying like a S.H.I.E.L.D. a thing.
Yeah.
He could die.
I like that. Director of Thing.
Thanks, bud. And someone told me like he's gonna die because that has to be the stimulant for Peter Parker, a la Ben, Uncle Ben type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Uncle Ben has died in this universe. It's just that they didn't want to bring it up because it's been done to death in the other movies. I don't think that they're gonna do that. I just feel like they would have killed him. The way that movie ends, with the music stopping, everyone in my theater gasping. If they wanted to kill him, I feel like it would have been there. I really do. I don't know why we would. It's like you're just gonna run it back and have another dramatic moment with that. I think Captain America is a 100% lock.
To die?
Put it on the board. Yeah, to die. I think he's done. And I think one of the ending scenes of the movie is everyone attending his funeral. And it's every character. I think the OGs are the only ones up for grabs. Probably that's why they have them still alive in this one. Could be Hulk. Could be Thor.
Yeah.
I don't think they get rid of Black Widow though.
No.
She
deserves to stand alone.
Yeah, she has that. I don't know what time period they said that takes place between. It doesn't take place after this though. It takes place before.
They're gonna give us a standalone.
Yeah,
oh.
You didn't know that? Yeah,
no.
They are. I'm interested to see how that plays out. I don't really know though, because it's very cool though. And one of the other reports I saw was that they're not going to show another trailer until March, which would be a month before the movie comes, month or so before the movie comes out. So that's awesome. I mean, my dream thing was that they never released a trailer. They showed a 30-second thing and just said what the title was, and that's it. Have fun.
That's pretty much what they did.
That's pretty much what they did though. They did this next best thing, which was kind of just setting up that.
Just some boring dialogue.
Yeah, just some dialogue that basically says yes, the movie's coming, and yes, what you saw in the last one did happen.
Is Falcon alive?
No.
He died?
Yeah, he's done.
No,
he's DED.
No, dead. He died in Infinity War?
Spoiler, yeah.
I don't remember that happening.
It was Falcon. Because Falcon's is quick though. I remember that. His is quick.
Oh. Okay.
Soldier, Spidey, Panther, Vision, Scarlet Witch, all the Guardians except for Nebula and Rocket.
Now here's the thing. It makes sense for the ones that were affected by the snap to come back, but what about Gamora?
I don't know. She's another interesting one. You think she's done?
I think she's
She's TKO'd, dead.
TKO'd.
She hit the pavement hard, man. I don't know.
Total knockout.
Total knockout, indeed. I don't know, but what I like about the movie is that I think that we're gonna get a lot of. I forgot to write down some of my fun, dumb fan theories. And what's it called? Do you think they're still listening? The infamous.
No, I feel like they would have been texting if.
Yeah, they probably would have been. Just try to explain to our friend the why Doctor Strange didn't use time travel was one of the more contentious arguments I think I've ever had in my life.
I still don't fully understand what happens.
And I'm telling you, she knows, by the way. She knows she messed up and halfway through changed what her question was. I know it. I know it. I can see it.
I seriously don't even know what the question was.
I know you don't. You were confused. You got blanked.
It was just so wild.
But, Avengers 4, I'm excited for it. I think that we're going to get a lot of interesting stuff from the movie, just based off the fact that it's reportedly 3 hours.
Where's Vision?
Vision's donezo.
Yeah.
We don't need any more of him, honestly. Let's be honest. Do we really care about Vision? Do we? Do we really care about Vision? Who do we really care about?
Okay, honestly,
I want to care about Scarlet Witch, but they've messed her up. So that's
that love interest was weird.
Forced.
Yeah. It was just weird. I don't understand why they needed to force it and why they were eloping and where were they? France or wherever?
Well, it was all right, so here's the thing. Let's look at the arc of this relationship, all right? First they meet in Age of Ultron and she does some stuff. They beat Ultron, right? Then in Civil War, I think is the next one they show. And they have a little thing or whatever.
Right.
They have a little dinner scene and then she beats him up and that's it, and then they leave. And then all of a sudden they're dating,
right?
in Infinity War. It's what kind of arc is this? It's good that they're making apparently a Disney Plus series that's starring them, because you need to I thought that was my biggest problem with Infinity War. Honestly, I'm I don't buy this. I'm sorry. And she's so cool. It's an interesting character that I feel they just haven't used enough. She's basically the most powerful character aside from Thor.
Why was she up there this whole time?
Yeah, why? Why was she up there this whole time? And I was just this is cool. Elizabeth Olsen's a great actress. Why aren't you using her more? It doesn't make sense. And I hope that they really fix that, because I think she'd be really interesting. I think she'd be cool with Doctor Strange, honestly. But, yeah, Avengers 4, man. We're in the Endgame. We're in the Endgame, Alejandro. I can't wait. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to see Avengers a week before my finals, essentially.
True.
It's gonna be crazy. I don't know if I'm going to make it, man.
See, I just hope I'm lucky enough to buy tickets early, because I saw Avengers Infinity War Thursday night showing at 7 o'clock, so I was
Nice.
one of the very first people to see it.
Nice. I saw it Friday morning.
Yeah,
That's when I saw it.
I can't
dope.
wait, because
It was
it's
dope.
I get emails of when tickets are released, and then I'm just buy.
It's going to be cool. But yeah, I really am a big fan of the trailer. It's one of the better trailers for a big-time blockbuster I've seen, just because it is a trailer. It is an old-fashioned, we're barely going to tell you anything aside from the title reveal, which is cool. It's called Endgame.
Yeah.
And yes, everything in the last movie happened. It's really ominous. Hawkeye looks like a beast. That was
People are
pretty
saying
cool.
that that's not him, which I don't get.
Oh, it is him. Oh, you mean some type of fake?
They're saying Ronan or
Oh no,
whoever
that's
that is.
it's a mantle that he dons in the comic books.
Oh, okay.
Similar to Captain America becoming Nomad in the comic books. Similar like that, a different
who's
name.
Nomad?
Captain America in the comic books, when he leaves, that's what he he gets referred to.
And
as
Bucky
for a little
becomes
bit.
Captain America. Right?
Yeah, for a little bit that happens. So this is Ronan. I don't know anything about the story. And I don't want to know. I just want everything to be a surprise. I'm really excited for it.
Where was he during Infinity? Because we know exactly where Ant-Man was during Infinity War. No, where was Hawkeye?
He was probably under house arrest or something like that.
No,
and decided to stay with his family.
Yeah, they said he was with his family. I just don't I don't know.
He probably was everything happened fast. You gotta remember that. You had the freaking the meltdown of the city. All of a sudden, Stark is presumed dead, and everything just kind of happens. I love that scene, by the way, when they're walking through the city in Infinity War, and he's people are terrified, running around. It feels very disaster movie-esque.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's actually oh my god, aliens are here. You know what I mean? And he's walking around trying to protect people or whatever, and he's gonna be okay because he's a beast. That armor is still the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And now it's got just the helmet left. So what good is it now?
Yeah, that makes no sense. If the armor was a part of him, how was he able to take off the mask?
It's nanotech, bro.
That's not real.
It's Did you really just pull the not real on the digital dash talking about Avengers 4?
Nanotech, man.
What got... You're weird, man. But now, perfect timing, really, because I was running out of things to really say about the movie. I'm excited. Mr. Robert O'Connor, the entertainment editor of the Montclarian, for the last time as the entertainment editor, he's here to talk about everything. You ready, bud? Because you're late.
Ready.
You're late.
Yeah, well, I'm tardy.
You're late. So how's it feel, man? How's it feel?
Feels weird. Really weird.
End of the semester, man.
Hi, guys. I don't know if I've met. We've met you guys. I'm Rob.
Mike.
Nice
to meet you.
Alejandro, how you
Nice to
doing?
meet you, Alejandro.
Live on the air.
Yeah, he actually has manners, and he'll introduce
up in
himself
here.
and whatnot. But yeah, Rob is he's graduating.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy. He was the entertainment editor. He taught me everything I know.
Yes, I did. You learned so much.
I learned so much, man. It was great.
Wild.
But I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy because you have the ceremony thing at the same time as I do. I believe is what we mentioned, right? But just in general, how does it feel to be done with college?
It's weird. I didn't think I'd get this far, so I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't know. learned a lot. It's helpful. It's also very overwhelming because, what am I going to do next? I've been at school for the past 16 years of my life. So
yeah, that's something I just don't want to think about at all.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It'll creep up on you.
Yeah. I mean, let me know when your MTV show, Talking with Rob, premieres. Then I'd love to be a guest. That'd be great.
You can EP it if you want.
Yeah, it'd be great. God dang it. I'm really excited for just, I don't know, like what your thoughts are on how, like, because you've had an interesting journey, I'd say, right? Like,
I guess so. I started,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I started community college, did that for 2 years. Now I'm here. Now I'm done here. So, yeah, I mean, being a commuter from a 2-year school, it was cool. I hated it when I was at a community college. Really hated it. Came here.
Can't all be winners, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But, you start from the bottom, and then you appreciate it when you get closer to the top. So...
Yeah, like, I was going to ask you, like, what would you say to people who... Because I remember you wrote in your senior goodbye, which people, if they want, they can check out on themontclarian.org or pick up the hard copy. You mentioned how it's like you kind of just were blah, like you were just kind of there.
Yeah, I just kind of went to class, went home.
And you just kind of didn't have a super... Like, you have passions. Everyone has passions, things that they're interested in. But career is completely different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
What would you say to people, like, that might be in your position, you know what I mean? Like, where it's just... What am I,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, community college, it's not that bad. It's just kind of all what you make out of it. I just went to, like I said, I just went to class and went home, so I didn't have, like, the most exciting experience. But a lot of people I know that went to Bergen really thrived there, and more power to them. But a lot of the classes, speaking with people who have gone to Montclair for 4 years, like, a lot of the classes at Bergen were very similar to the ones that they took here. And honestly, it does save you a lot of money. So, like, one of the good things about graduating now is, like, I mean, I have debt, but, like, it's not, like, a crazy huge number that's going to, like, overwhelm me. Like,
I feel you. I mean, yeah, you save some money. That's always good.
Yeah, it's helpful.
But, it's tough, I guess.
Yeah, just try new things. When you're in college, like, I just emailed the entertainment section one day, and I was like, hey, if you need help, let me know. And then they were like, oh, you want to be an assistant? And I was like, cool. And then it just kind of went from there. And the same thing with the radio. You were like, do you want to come on the radio? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, say yes. I think that's the
just
thing.
say yes.
Yeah,
that could be taken out of context.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
say yes to opportunities.
Yeah, it's opportunities that people offer. And most of the time, it's like, it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And, if you don't like it, don't do it again.
I mean, my first radio show was a disaster, like, over the summer, like it was. The whole world, it's on YouTube, it went viral. Like, when me messing up, I tripped over something and fell into a computer. It was really bad.
Look at you now. You're sitting comfortably.
Yeah, I'm sitting comfortably, and I've only tripped once this semester. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we're making progress. I think that one of the things, like, what do you have, like, any favorite, like, kind of thing that you've done? You know what I mean? Like, what's like a
favorite, like, article?
Yeah, like, do you have a favorite article? Because you've done a lot of stuff.
I did. Probably the favorite one I've done this February. Yeah, maybe late January, early February. Patrick Wilson and his wife, Dagmara Dominquick, if you're listening, you were both great. They came to this school to kind of... It was part of the Montclair, the Film Institute at Montclair. They just kind of came here to talk about their journeys, their passions, stuff like that. So I went to the colloquium. Then afterwards, I was given a chance to interview them alongside Kate Bronstein, who's the station manager, I believe, here.
Yep.
And I just wrote up a whole article about them, which is crazy because he's, like, literally famous, and so is she. She's in that show Succession on HBO, which came out this past year, and she was also in an episode of The Deuce. And
The Deuce.
Yes,
really want to watch that.
It's pretty good. It's slow, but it's really worth it. And then, so that was awesome. And then Patrick Wilson, he was talking about Aquaman back in February, and now that's coming out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right? How does that feel?
It's
where
cool.
It's like you talked to someone about a movie that basically just came out. I mean,
it's wild.
I mean, him saw it this past.
Oh yeah.
No, not Alejandro. Me and my friend Mike.
Oh, did you like it? Was Patrick Wilson the best part?
No, definitely not.
I find that hard to believe.
He was at a comic book shop the other day.
Yeah, I saw that on his Twitter.
He was okay.
I was waiting in line for so long. I was gonna meet him, and then the line was too long. I had to leave.
It happens.
I couldn't meet him.
It happens, but he's a good guy. He was really, like, kind and just very accepting, and, like,
that was cool.
Where'd you get to meet him?
I met him this past, like, late January, early February.
Did a colloquium here?
Yeah, it was part of the Film Institute, and then I had just emailed someone at the Film Institute, and I was like,
because he lives in Montclair.
Yeah, so they're local. Yeah. They might be listening now.
I would love that.
That'd be great. Shout out Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson and Dagmara Domintvich.
You were phenomenal.
You were both amazing. But yeah, I just emailed the press person at the Film Institute. I was like, I worked for the Montclarian. I'm the assistant entertainment editor, which I was at the time. I would love to do an interview. So if it's at all possible, just let me know. And then she hit me back and was like, absolutely. You can meet him at this time in this room. And I was like, awesome. And then I did. And it was cooler.
Yeah, like that's what's interesting about it is I think people don't realize, like, just when you're trying to, do opportunities and whatnot, that you don't really, it's just, you just go, you know what I mean? Like, you just asked, and it's like, what can happen? And, like, what do you think is, in general, aside from people being, I think, just scared of trying things and whatnot, what do you think is another, like, misconception about Montclair State, the newspaper, radio, whatever it is? Like, what do you think is something that
I think
you've learned?
Well, a lot of people with the newspaper, some people are, oh, well, print's dead. Like, who cares about that? But, I mean, we're a multimedia news organization. So, like, even if print is on the decline, and we still do our print issue every week, but we also have a really big web presence. Our social media game has been upped. Where, we do a lot. So even if you think, oh, well, why would I want to write for a newspaper if newspapers aren't going to be around forever?
Well, you always have the online version.
Yeah, exactly. You have the online version. It's good for your portfolio.
Breaking news, people still read. Stop.
Yeah, it's true.
Print is different than reading.
No,
you
absolutely.
could also just because you're out on print, I've heard some people say this, it's like, oh, I don't want to be well, you could also just write things. You know what I mean?
And
like,
I mean,
people will view them online. They get circulation. It's not the same as, years ago.
Right,
but
everything's
the print
evolving,
part.
so.
Yeah, of course, the print part is
But yeah, I mean,
dying,
don't let that stop you from contributing. And we also have a whole video section for different photographers and stuff. So like,
it's been improving even more with this semester.
I've been creating like portfolios and stuff online just to send to like hopeful employers. Please hire me.
Hire Rob. He's got my endorsement.
If I have Javi's approval, what else do I need? A job. But yeah, I was like building online portfolios, and I realized like I did more than I thought I did here. And I mean, I knew I did a lot, but like looking at it all kind of like laid out, it's like, wow, like
Yeah, I remember when you interviewed me for the colloquium. That was great.
Oh yeah, you enjoyed that one.
That was really great. That was a great one.
It was interesting.
It was really interesting, and I just remember you staying outside. Hey, you want to?
And you were like,
yeah. And it's cool. Like you really do learn a lot, and I think that with journalism, especially, I mean, I think people don't realize that like you can't just be a writer.
Yeah,
like,
right. Which
I
is
think
what I
people
thought
know
going
that,
in
but
here.
they think that that's all we do for some reason. It's strange.
Yeah.
It's like this really kind of like.
And like the journalism program here is all inclusive. You do writing, editing, shooting video, photography. So.
Or you shoot it not well. You don't edit well like me.
Well,
which
I'm sure yours is better
editing.
than you thought it was.
It was okay.
There you go.
It was something.
Okay.
It was. I'll screen it later. Details to be revealed later.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Do you like? Man, it's so weird. What like? In general, besides this being your last semester, you know what I mean? What is like, how do you feel about this time of the year? Like, so it's Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, it's always weird,
cool.
right?
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, I haven't done any Christmas shopping yet because I've been focusing on like my finals and stuff, so I haven't really.
Of course, finals, man. They're tough. They're real tough. Although people stop tweeting about them. Enough.
It's true.
Enough. You're not funny. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll heart your tweet if I'm loyal, but yeah.
It's just.
But I don't know. Christmas is fun.
I mean, my biggest
holiday season, I should say.
My biggest super complaint is when I see someone complain about finals, but then on Snapchat the night before they were posting a picture of them partying. Like you're just
that's
not
why I don't
allowed
complain.
To do that. You're not allowed to do that.
I have heard this same rant from Javi for the past 4 years.
He loves to repeat
Every
his rants.
single.
I do. You ready for the
Oscars? You got to ask him about how he feels about movies that get released in like 2 theaters at the end of December.
No, don't worry.
There?
I've been there, done that.
I'm not surprised.
I heard it last night.
Okay.
Basically, what you guys are getting at is I'm really not all that interesting.
No,
I
you're super
regurgitate
interesting.
the
You're
same
just
stuff.
passionate.
I
You like what you
regurgitate
like.
the same stuff over and over to everybody. You should ask my mom. Like you guys, you got it rough. Oh, just ask my mom, who I think is
I'd
listening
love to
right
meet
now.
this Mrs. Reyes.
Yeah, shout out to her. She's dope.
Yeah, Christmas is good.
Yeah, Christmas is really good.
Hanukkah's good. Kwanzaa's good.
You know, it's tough out here. But like, do you feel like when did it hit for you that this was your last semester? Was there a specific moment, a time? You know?
I don't think so. I think it's slowly been creeping up on me.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's fully hit me in the face yet. Probably like, oh no, when people were registering for classes for next semester, they were like, oh, when do you register? And I was like, I don't. I was like, oh wow. So I guess that was the beginning of it, and then from there, it's just kind of slowly been increasing. So now I'm done, and I'll probably go home tonight, and maybe it'll hit me tomorrow when I don't have to come, or in January when I see people like posting back to school pictures, and I'm just like trying to find a job.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's tough out here.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, man, end of semester blues indeed.
Yeah,
it's just such a.
Everyone's
it's so
worried
bittersweet.
about
It's
finals,
weird,
but like,
man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not looking forward to graduating. Not in the sense that I don't want to graduate and I don't want to do well. I don't mean it like that.
Right.
I just mean that feeling is just admittedly kind of scary. Like I don't want to not know what happens next. We've been in school our whole lives, and that's just a completely different thing. I don't think you have to have everything figured out.
I don't think so either.
I think that's BS, and don't like stalk people's LinkedIns and think that you have to have every experience thing in the world.
Yeah, we're all learning together.
I feel like it's kind of a crapshoot sometimes. So
sometimes.
Work hard. I always describe it as, it's like kind of a gamble life and stuff like that. You're playing a game of, dice or whatever, and just the harder you work, the more chances you got.
It's true.
And the more different,
But if you have a gambling
roll.
addiction, don't gamble. But
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Why would you say? Why are you looking at me?
Yeah.
He loves the slots.
Oh, no.
Slots. Stay away from slots.
Let's just move on.
Okay.
It's bad
I have
for
a
him.
list.
It's bad for him.
I did
You do have a
research.
list. But first, we're going to take a little bit of break.
All right.
And then when we get back, we're going to talk about some of the movies we're looking forward to the most in 2019. And then we're going to finish off talking about Aquaman and Spider-Verse, which me and him saw this weekend. So that'll be a lot of fun, guys. You listen to the season finale of the Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. But yeah.
I was mad about that.
He's a big fan of hers.
I love
Just
her.
realized I started
Everyone's a
recording
big fan of her. She's amazing. She's a treasure.
She is a treasure.
I know. But she's also going to be in a movie coming out this year.
What's that?
It's Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out. It's called Us.
Yes,
it's starring her, Elizabeth Moss from Handmaid's Tale and Mad Men, and some other folk. And I don't know what it's about, but according to IMDb, a mother and father take their kids to their beach house, expecting to enjoy time with friends. But their serenity turns to tension and chaos when some visitors arrive uninvited. Is Lupita invited? She has an open invitation if she ever wants to come have dinner at my house. Or just hang out. I don't have to cook. I can order out whatever you want. You're great. I just want to talk to you. And
Speaking of your house, let me get into one of mine. You talk about a lot how you have an Oscars party.
Yes, you are invited this year, Javier. I expect your attendance. I don't care if it's in Pagoda, New Jersey. You are to be there.
I'm excited.
I'll
find a way.
How's he gonna get there?
I'll find a way.
That's not my problem. I'd have to get everything ready for the party.
So I can find a
He
way.
can't. He can't drive there.
Whatever, you can come too. But yes, I do.
So that's the thing. I put as an entry on things I'm looking forward to in 2019 is, in quotes, how the Oscars are going to screw things up. Because
Yes,
they're going to.
they will.
And I can't wait for them to not nominate Black Panther and put in Green Book, or for them to only nominate Adam Driver from Black Klansman, which would be great.
Did you see Black
I'm
Klansman
rooting
yet?
for it. No. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying
No, he was
look at
fine,
the
but-
optics of that.
Yeah, I see
You know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying.
But what's interesting about Black Klansman is I think this is something I'm regurgitating again from last night. I think Spike Lee just doesn't care, and I think that they know that they can't redeem what they did for Do the Right Thing, not getting him Best Director nomination. I think they kind of know that, so I'm wondering if they feel like they have to, but then do they need to not do it because they know he doesn't care? He just doesn't care. Spike Lee does not care about the Oscars anymore.
Yeah,
he's just
fair.
I know exactly why I'm not going to be nominated. Why bother? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Spike Lee's just an interesting filmmaker. Even all of his more indie stuff that doesn't get mainstream recognition, like Chirac a couple years ago, which is a retelling of a Greek tragedy that's all set in Chicago. Every line of dialogue is spoken verse poetry. It's really interesting and weird, but he's doing creative things. So.
And it's crazy because he's the only director that I know that has a Spike Lee joint when you're doing the thing. A Spike Lee joint. I just love that. It's
cute.
Every director should have that. You know what I mean? Every big director
I feel
should have that.
A lot of auteurs do.
Yeah, most of them. But sometimes
Quentin Tarantino has what? Something.
It just says a film by Quentin Tarantino.
Or no, what's his name? The Clerks guy. Kevin Smith has The View Askew, where it's a clown.
Oh,
it's
really?
creepy. At least he did in the
I
old
haven't seen
ones.
Kevin James movies in forever since.
Not Kevin
Mallrats.
James.
Oh, I thought you said
No, not Mall Cop.
Wait, who are you thinking? Wait,
Kevin Smith, the guy
Kevin
from
Smith.
Clerks.
I'm sorry, Smith. That's what
I used to work at a convenience store, so that movie related.
Yeah, it's very good. I never saw a sequel. The last one I
Sequel's
saw
better
of
than
his
you'd
was
think.
Mallrats.
I never saw
That was the last
Mallrats.
thing I saw.
But those aren't coming out in 2019. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
I got another
go
movie that you are not going to want to see. It's a horror movie. It's called Climax. It's by the director Gaspar Noé, who's done a lot, some of the most disturbing, messed up movies I've seen ever. Irreversible.
Salo?
Not Salo. The director of Salo was murdered shortly before its release due to its controversy, Javier. He's dead.
Wait, really?
Yeah, since the 80s. Look it up. Pasolini.
I need to watch this movie now.
You're not going to like it.
Oh, wait, I know of this movie. Is this A24?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is the one with the girl from Kingsman from...
Oh, yeah, Sophia Boutella for The Mummy.
Sophia Boutella, The Mummy, and also, what was that other movie she was in? And Atomic Blonde. Yeah, I've seen this. This looks good.
Yeah, it's
No,
supposed
I
to be
might have put
wild.
this
It's
on.
people...
Yeah, this looks really cool.
It's
Great trailer.
I think it's a ballet, some kind of dance party that everyone's kind of inadvertently, there's something slipped into the punch where they all go crazy and cannibalistic.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of
apparently it's all
Kingsman, there you
shot
go.
with motion and like the cameras flying around the whole building and like uncomfortable angles. It's gonna be trippy.
No, I'm in support of this pick. I saw.
All right, let's go see it.
Yeah, I'm down.
You don't be uncomfortable. It's coming out March 1st. What else we got? Oh my God. Every era has to end. Unfortunately, Tyler Perry's Medea.
Okay, so here's the funniest thing about what you just did. Everyone, if you're talking about most anticipated movies, anyone who says the end of an era has to come, everyone says Avengers 4, and he says Tyler Perry.
We're talking about a Medea family funeral, everybody. Hello.
It's like...
Wait, Javier, have you seen a Medea movie?
Oh, not in a long time.
What?
Not in a long time.
But you have seen one.
Yeah,
which
I forgot
one?
which one. Let me look up what they are.
All right, let's see. We got Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Vacation, Medea Goes to Jail, Meet the
Jail.
Browns.
I think I saw Jail.
Jail was good.
Yeah, I saw Jail.
Medea Christmas, Boo, a Medea Halloween, Boo 2, a Medea Halloween 2, Medea Family Reunion. What's this one?
He'd be making bank, man. Shout out to Tyler.
Medea's Big Happy Family.
Keep getting them checks.
But yeah, so it's time. It's time. We got to see what happens.
Yeah, it certainly is time.
Is she gonna die?
I
I hope not. But maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But yeah, I'm excited.
That's also March 1st, so we're gonna have a busy weekend between that and Climax.
See what movies he's into. It's so funny.
I have eclectic taste, Javier. I knew that you were gonna talk about all the superheroes, so I figured I won't even put them on my list. He's got them
Some
covered.
of them. All right, but first, let me get some. You know what I'm actually interested in?
What?
Ford v Ferrari.
Never heard of it.
It is the movie. I put it down here. Let me just pull up
Pulling
the
it up
IMDb
on
page real
IMDb
quick.
right now.
It's from James Mangold. So that's why I'm in.
We didn't talk about Logan some more?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, so I'm just interested. It's just this true story of the battle between Ford and Ferrari to win Le Mans in 1966. I don't know what that is. I'm interested. I'm just interested in anything he does because he is just straight up like a really good filmmaker.
What's Le Mans?
So, I don't know.
Is that like a boat race?
It's a car.
Oh my God, Patrick
probably.
Wilson, if you're still listening, don't be embarrassed by my ignorance.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm kind of interested in that one.
Why?
Some other why?
Yeah.
I don't know. James Mangold.
What's it about?
James Mangold. That's it.
But what's Ford and Ferrari to win Le Mans?
I don't know. Some car show.
We'll
That's
find
all
out when the
I
trailer
like
drops.
James Mangold. All right. That's it.
That's fair.
You're the one who's like Lupita, Lupita, Lupita. Like that's all you were to say.
Lupita's movie Us will be coming out on March 15th.
I'm gonna say one just to get him involved in the conversation.
Oh, it's good to get everybody involved.
And I know that he's excited.
Is it Avengers?
No, we already talked about Avengers.
Nice.
Obviously,
All right, no,
Avengers
we
is
don't
on
have
my
to.
list.
Then it's fine.
It's on the list, but Star Wars Episode 9. Yes, that comes out this year. Everybody.
Wait.
Yes.
Who's in that movie?
Ooh, we don't know for sure, but I'm assuming it's still Oscar Isaac. It's still Daisy Ridley. Still, hold on, John Boyega.
Okay, who plays
Lupita, I believe.
Yeah,
be
Lupita
back.
Nyong'o,
She
she's
should
in
be.
it.
Why wouldn't she be back? I mean, they're gonna need.
Remember when they
put
put her in like 5 minutes of The Last Jedi, and
Yeah,
that was it, and she
I
just
know.
FaceTimed in?
It looked like that was something made from like an animated short.
I
You know what
love
I mean?
it,
Like,
though. Whatever.
like they're gonna release that on home VHS or not VHS.
I would
home
buy a
DVD,
VHS player
just to watch
just
that.
to have it.
I mean, we agree on this though. Kind of a waste of her talents. I like her in that role, but it's kind of a waste.
No, she could do anything she wanted.
I know, but it's like you could have had her do something else.
You're gonna be impressed. Watch her monologue in 12 Years a Slave. Oof.
Don't listen to anything he's saying right now.
No, you
You're
should.
scaring-
I don't want to.
scaring him.
What do you mean I'm scaring him? It's history.
You're scaring him.
It's history. She was a slave, and oh my God, I can't even.
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
good.
emotional of a day already. We can't be talking about 12
All right,
Years a
fine,
Slave.
Fine, but
So
yeah,
good.
Episode 9. I feel like people are forgetting that this comes out this year.
It's
just because Avengers being a big thing, and also just
When is it coming out?
everyone hates The Last
Is it-
Jedi.
Are they
December,
staying
right?
May or are they doing
December
December?
still. December
December.
still. This one's being
Alright.
done by J.J. Abrams, who did Force Awakens.
Yes, we know.
One of my favorite filmmakers, just because I think he just gets sci-fi really well. Just at a basic core level, I think he really gets it. But yeah, it's still coming out. No word of any. You know,
Didn't they
it's
add
just
Laura
weird.
Dern to the cast?
I really, yeah, but she, R.I.P. died in the movie.
Oh, that's right. That was
Last
the
Jedi.
last one. No, they added Carrie Russell to this one. That
Yeah.
girl from, the woman from the
And
American.
Hamill, I believe, is back as well. And who called it? Me. Billy D. Williams will also be in it. He played
dat?
Lando Calrissian in the original trilogy.
Oh.
Donald Glover played him in the new Solo movie.
Cool.
I called this months before it happened.
Oh, that's
I
right. You did say
called
that.
it.
Whatever.
What
You're smart. You're a soothsayer.
It'd just be weird. Why would you release this Donald Glover character, this Lando show him in Solo, and then be like, oh yeah,
Did you see
we're
Solo?
still not going to explain. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Was it good?
I didn't like it.
it was fine.
I didn't like it.
I think it was like
But it's not even like it that it's a awful movie. Wow, awful movie. It's just that it's so painfully fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it was it's like
painfully fine.
cookie cutter. Like we had all of like the pieces around it, like of that story, and then they just like connected the dots. And
It's
like,
shockingly not a lot about Han. I mean, it's about Han Solo, but it doesn't focus on him as exclusively as you would think, which is, in my opinion, not a good thing because of
called
what
Solo.
they do. There are it also has the awful, just killing blow of having at least 5 different times when you think the movie's gonna end, especially towards the end. There's like 5 separate sequences. You're like, oh wow, that was the final, like, boom, that was the thing. You know what I mean? The Kessel Run, the shootout, the thing with Woody Harrelson, everything. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it's still not over. Still not over. Yeah, nope. So okay, Darth Maul's here. Oh, okay. It's like, it's just really fine.
I feel you.
I don't know how I feel about what's her face, Emilia Clarke either. I don't know.
You don't watch GOT yet. You gotta watch GOT, Javier. That's what you don't watch Game of Thrones over winter break.
No, I'm talking about post Game of Thrones.
Yes, but are you gonna watch Game of Thrones over winter break?
That's one of my main goals today.
I expect
that's a no.
No, Javier, you have to. You gotta watch GOT. Don't you want to? You're gonna be in college.
Don't listen to him.
You're gonna be in college when the new episodes start coming out in April. Don't you want to be a part of the
Well,
zeitgeist?
I'll definitely want. Yeah, I do.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to report on it for your entertainment section since I'm leaving.
Yeah, I do.
You gotta watch GOT.
I will.
I mean, the first season is a little.
It's long,
it might
though,
drag
so
at moments, but by the end of the first season, you're gonna be like,
it's like
yo.
70 hours. I gotta get through that.
That's fun. All right, Javier. So just watch like Infinity War just once a week, and instead of rewatching that, just watch GOT. It's Game of Thrones for all y'all that don't know.
I deserve that. But another one I'm looking forward to. I'm already being very on brand so far.
Yeah.
Zombieland 2.
All right.
And
Is Emma Stone coming back?
Yeah, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg.
I saw her
Woody
in The
Harrelson.
Favorite this week. That movie was real good.
Yeah, I really want to see that. You saw the trailer for that when we saw 8th grade. You know, if you saw the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. It looks really funny. It looked hilarious.
It was like pretty dark.
And I've heard that it's like dark comedy type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm into it.
And it's almost like, wow, it must have sucked.
It's like the whole thing is shot in like with natural light and candlelight. Like it looks. I don't know if they shot it in actual palaces, but it looks like they did. But set design was crazy.
Zombieland is dope. And why am I saying this is on brand? I like Zombieland. I love the first movie.
To like.
Very
what
very
movie?
fun movie.
Zombieland.
We should see that. You know why it's really great too? It's like an hour 20.
That's true. It is short.
Amazing.
You get in, you get the plot, you get out.
It's the perfect pacing. It's just fun.
I was actually reading about today.
Alejandro's back.
Yeah.
Insert the WWE GIF.
I can't wait because in about a year from now it's gonna be released, right?
I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out.
No, not a year. Zombieland, right?
Zombieland is
releasing. Zombieland 2.
Let me make sure I find the correct time.
Oh, October.
Shooting is early next year, October 2019 release.
Okay, Halloween season.
And literally 10 years after the first film.
That's wild. That's already been a decade.
But the other reason why is this on brand? Because a couple weeks ago, a special announcement was made. One of the best announcements, really.
That Kevin Hart would no longer be hosting the Oscars? Was that the announcement you're referring to? Because it made my week. Which one?
Stop.
What?
Stop it.
I don't like him.
I know you don't, and
can we just
you
get Patrick
have a lot of
Wilson to
reasons
host?
to not like him.
Patrick Wilson, if you're listening, just call them up. Please host.
Patrick Wilson, if you're listening, call in.
He's not listening.
That's a good idea. What's the phone number, Javi?
The number is 973-655-4256.
Oh, one more time.
Patrick Wilson, this is my last day of college. If you call in,
973-655-4256.
Anyone, please just call in 973-655.
All right, stop. All right, guys, come on. Let me.
Only Patrick Wilson call in.
I'm trying to do the lead. I'm burying the lead here.
Bury it.
You know. But Zoe Deutsch, she's joining the movie as part of the cast, who I've talked about a lot. She's my second favorite actress.
What movie are we talking about again?
Zombieland 2.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't really matter.
I wonder what the plot is though, because it's been 10 years.
Zombies, man.
You're right.
Like a land of zombies or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's gonna be dope. That's all I know. The first one, I'm not even kidding. It's just really just a really great movie.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
and it's
because it's
not
fun.
long. It's fun, not long.
lighthearted.
Woody is on his apex peak.
And it's not scary in any way.
Really
it's just
there are a couple
fun.
parts that could probably make you jump, but
yeah, for sure.
It's fine.
And the Bill Murray cameo is.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not a spoiler at this point.
Yeah.
Dumbo's coming out.
Dumbo. How do you feel about the trailer? I know people are telling me that they made them cry.
It
got me a little bit.
I'm not a child.
Shut up.
I'm gonna sound like a hipster, but like I feel like this movie I'm more excited for. Whoa, shook. I feel like I'm more excited for Dumbo than The Lion King. Just because Dumbo looks like they're doing something different. Because the original Dumbo's like an hour, and I mean I don't know how long this one's gonna be. I assume it's longer than an hour. But I feel like they're going to expand more so on the original story and kind of show us more of the universe versus Lion King, which so far it's like
it's just a reimagining / remake thing, which is what they're going to be doing for.
But whatever, I'll still see Lion King too. But this one has Colin Farrell and Danny DeVito, and it's directed by Tim Burton. Who else we got?
So if you're not going to say Lion King, I will, and that's because the cast, man. It's just too
Michael
ridiculous.
Keaton's in it too.
Oh really?
So
he is in it. He is in it.
And Eva Green. Anyway.
The cast is just too ridiculous.
Yeah.
You got James Earl Jones is back. You got Jeremy Irons as Scar, which is awesome, by the way. Oh wait, no, My bad. I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, I think that's the old one.
Yeah, that is the old one. I was because Matthew Broderick just popped up, and I'm like, no, that's definitely
not
not.
right.
That is definitely not the one.
Who
While
is
I
playing
look through,
Scar?
I'm trying to find it. It is the guy from. Hold on. I don't know his name. He's been in everything.
Like
He's been in 12 Years a Slave. I'm blanking on his name right
Paul
now.
Giamatti.
No.
He was in 12 Years a Slave. A lot of
on.
people. Michael Fassbender.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's in it, and he's playing Scar, which I like.
That.
Billy Eichner.
Yeah, he's
You
not.
know?
Well,
Shout
I like
shout out Eichler.
Shout out Eichler if he's listening.
Billy Eichner's fire.
We
We were
Seth
just watching
Rogen,
I was
John
actually just
Oliver,
watching his video where he runs around New York with Lupita in the office a couple hours ago.
Beyonce. I mean, come on.
Beyonce, Mrs. Knowles Carter.
And then Donald Glover. Come on. The cast is so stupidly good.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's like,
insane.
"Oh, it's a live action movie." It is not.
It's like
still CGI.
Well, there's been a debate about this, right? Where it's
I
like
am on.
it's
the
live
CGI.
action / like you know what I mean?
But
like,
what's live action? Like the Jungle Book was live action because Mowgli was real.
I think it's because it's the you know I don't know, man. I'm siding with your side, but I've heard some compelling arguments. But that being said, I'm excited for. I mean, you kind of it's a given, right? You know, Kev, do you have anything that you're excited for?
it. I mean, I said that about Beauty and the Beast. I never saw it, but I'll see this one for sure.
I am excited for Lion King, as I never really watched a ton of Disney movies.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of reliving my childhood through the new movies. So Lion King, Dumbo, those will be fun movies that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Aladdin's another one coming.
Aladdin, yes, I knew there was another one.
There's such a dumb controversy earlier this year about Aladdin, where people were like,
I'm not.
"Why is it taking you so long to cast Aladdin, but you can know how to cast like terrorist characters before in movies?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry that they want to take their time to figure out Aladdin instead of evil terrorist number 5."
Yeah, I mean, we'll have
Sicario, like or not Sicario, but in like Zero Dark 30 would be a better example. It's like, come on, what are we doing?
I mean,
but I'm still excited.
We'll
for
stay
it.
optimistic.
For me, another one is I put Game of Thrones. Just because.
Wait, do you watch GOT? Did I just waste my breath earlier?
That would have been great if I had plot twist. No, I'm putting it there because regardless of whether or not I see it, I do plan to see it. I just am really excited for the conversation about the thing. Like, just as an outsider, you can't deny how interesting it is.
But become an insider, then it'll be even more interesting.
I know.
You'll
I'm
have
just
your own
saying.
take.
I'm just saying. Even if I wasn't, it would be like still one of my most anticipated things. I can't wait to see how people react. People have been waiting for the conclusion of this thing for a long time.
It's gonna be wild.
They can't mess it up, and I don't think they will. Those people are smart.
I have one more on my list. It's called Under the Silver Lake. It is David Robert Mitchell's directorial follow-up to It Follows, which came out in 2014.
It Follows, really inventive, interesting
peculiar movie. Not my favorite, but inventive is a good word to put it. But this is Andrew Garfield, and it's kind of like a neo-noir kind of situation, which him and Riley Keough, not really sure how to pronounce her name. She's in a bunch of stuff like American Honey and then the new Lars von Trier movie, The House That Jack Built. This was supposed to come out late this year, but it got pushed back to April, which may not be a good sign, but it might be. I still want to see it. I'm curious. It looks fun, inventive, interesting, weird, all the things I like in my movies. So
yeah, you do like the fun, weird stuff.
I do. I'm a fun, weird guy. Oh, I have one more, which I might as well just round out my list. This is called The Nightingale. I don't know too much what it's about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's starring Sam Claflin from the Hunger Games movies and some other people. It's directed by Jennifer Kent, which is the main reason I'm looking forward to it. She directed The Babadook, which is an Australian horror movie that came out a couple years ago. It's pretty good. It's all a metaphor for like a grieving mother with her problematic son. Okay. It's on Netflix. It's messed up. It's not scary. You could probably watch it. It's more in like, it's got levels to it, so I recommend it.
There's
you
levels
like it,
to this. You and I know. Be humble.
Oh yes.
So one of our friends is texting the group chat to bring up how Walt Disney put in his will apparently that every 15 years they remake one of the classics.
Is that true?
So I don't know if it's.
I'm
true,
trying to look it up right now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true, but because I saw it. I've seen this circulating over social media. It wouldn't surprise me, but then again, let's not go through everything from Walt Disney's past.
So that's
let's
true.
be careful about that, guys.
So
but what I've heard is that he said like he put in his will that he wants to remake, that there should be a remake of the classics, a la Lion King, Aladdin, movies like that, like some of their OG stuff. But just to be to have it for every generation type of thing, which I don't know for sure.
Shouldn't they stand on their own?
Maybe it could mean not necessarily remake, but resell. Like how they had those like diamond editions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like they re-release. Maybe re-release is a way that they got around that. mean, that's probably what they were doing.
I don't know
honestly.
how I feel about that.
But I'll look it up.
But I'm on IMDb right now, just scrolling through the trailers. They're making a Downton Abbey movie, which is not my cup of tea. But I live with my grandmother. She's 83. The show is her life. She's gonna be thrilled. So all of our seniors, or just people that like British stuff even more than I do. Downton Abbey. They got a movie. Have you seen it? Have you been to the Abbey?
But some for me, some that you probably are expecting and aren't. Stranger Things. I'm not crazy about it, but I have a feeling once we get reminded about what it is, they release a little bit of a trailer, maybe we'll all be back in a little bit. I really did like the last season. I thought it had one kind of misstep with one of the episodes that it was just jarring. The transition.
Was that the one where it was just her?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind. It was basically like an X-Men movie, honestly, which was like fine, but I also understand it was just kind of a sudden change of pace I don't think quite worked. But I did enjoy it.
It was fun.
I thought the kids, I think that show is one of those that can't fail. Because I think we love the kids so much. I think that all, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, you're just seeing them, like, do what they do, whether it be Steve or whether it be my guy Dustin, who I've been compared to numerous times. I can't do the whale thing that he does.
Thankfully.
But I'm really excited for that. Another one is something that's called Umbrella Academy, starring Ellen Page.
Ellen Page, hello, Juno. I follow her on Instagram. Of course I saw it.
I'm somewhat familiar with the manga / whatever it's based off of.
It was based off of something.
It is.
It's good to know.
And I'm kind of into it. From the little I've read, I've been trying to get through it more and more. It's a comic book series. I'm sorry, not manga. But I'm kind of into it. It looks weird and twisted and crazy, and the books are especially twisted at certain points. But I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. Okay. I really just I'm rooting for Netflix so much, man.
Do you see Roma yet?
No, I know that it came out. I keep forgetting that it came out.
I'm trying to get around to watching that.
It's not even that I haven't had time. I just forgot that it was out. I put Joker on here. Now, here's why.
Because it's shot locally.
I'm kind of suspicious that this might be good. I feel like this might be good. We talked about this at one point, how there's too much Joker things.
Yeah, but Joaquin Phoenix is great. Have you seen his last,
that's what I'm
6
saying.
Performances? They're all crazy.
Scorsese's involved.
You got The Master. You got
Zazie Beetz is in it. And an unknown role. Like, there's a lot of stuff that suggests this should be really, really good.
I'm curious.
And just the way they've been promoting it, they had that weird video of him standing there with like a trash bag, and then like it looks like it's disturbingly grounded. I don't know. I put it's a wait and see for me. Yeah, it's a wait and see for me. I put Watchmen, the HBO series.
Oh yeah, that should be
because
cool.
they released
David
the
Lindelof
image.
is doing that, right?
Yep. And I'm just curious about that. My Hero Academia. I don't know if it comes back next year. It's an anime. That's right. You know I was gonna do this. Excited for that. But I have to say, and I put Spider-Man Far From Home, obviously, and Avengers in there. But my most anticipated things, probably not movies next year. It's still video games as usual. The Last of Us Part 2 is my most anticipated thing of next year. If I had to choose one thing, I'm not prepared for that game, and it still hasn't. They haven't announced a release date, but it's going to be 2019, I think. And I can't wait to see it. If anyone hasn't seen the gameplay demo that they showed at E3 this past year, wow, just watch it. Even if you don't like video games, Rob, you'll enjoy it. It's incredible. Okay. It's like it'll be the most incredible video game demo you've ever seen. Because you've probably seen one.
I was gonna say because it'll be the only one he's ever seen.
Have I seen one though?
But yeah, do you have if you have one thing you're looking forward to the most, what would it be? Mine would be The Last of Us Part 2.
One thing. I don't know. Something always surprises me. So, all right. So then I'll flip it on you. I'll pretend this is my show. At the end of 2017, what was the most anticipated 2018 thing for you? Oh, I know the answer. It's Infinity War.
I'm gonna think. No, it was Spider-Man for PlayStation 4.
Oh, there you go. It lived up to you.
Infinity War was up there, but yeah, that's right.
I don't know what I'm looking forward to the most in 2019.
Rob,
getting a job, hopefully.
That and there was a couple other things I was looking forward to the most, but no, it's
Infinity War was still probably up there.
And what's it called?
What is
Panther might have been up there, maybe.
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Panther was probably up there. I don't know.
Let me see if Meryl Streep's got a movie in production for next year, because then that's the easy answer.
And while you're doing
Big Little Lies season 2. She's in it.
Did you just curse?
No, I said duh.
Duh what?
Wait, Big Little Lies season 2.
Okay. If I get fired, it's whatever.
Did I curse?
No.
Of course not.
Alejandro with the surefire no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
No. I trust Alejandro implicitly, so don't worry.
We forgot about Little Women.
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Chalamet.
Oh
no.
Florence
How could we forget
Emma
that?
Watson.
The only thing we've ever agreed on.
I'm ready for it. Oh my God, they put out pictures?
Isn't Emma Stone out of it though?
Yeah, Emma Watson replaced her.
That's
one
still cool.
Emma for another.
That's still cool, but my favorite for someone that I really like. But Emma Stone's my favorite actress, and now Emma Watson's cool. I feel like she hasn't been in something just universally loved though in a while. I feel like she's due for something that like not that she's been bad.
Wasn't she in Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, that wasn't universally loved though.
I mean, a lot of people liked it, but a lot
of people liked it.
not.
I think she's waiting for another big wow, Emma Watson's great.
I've never
again.
seen any of the Little Women or
So
read
we'll
it, so I'm ready.
All right, but yeah. That's it for Mr. Robert O'Connor. We're gonna take a little bit of a break forever until he comes on again.
Yeah, until you text me and you're like, "You want to come on the show?" And I'm like, "Sure." I didn't curse last time. We're good.
And that's it. It's been a pleasure, sir.
Thanks, dude. And thanks for being a good assistant.
Thanks, man.
You're gonna crush it next semester as social media assistant here, and then as entertainment assistant still at the Montlarian. So.
Thanks, buddy.
You got my number, so shoot me a text.
For sure, man. For sure. So yeah, guys, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about Aquaman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which me and Mike just saw this past weekend, and just talk about our thoughts on it. Spoiler alert: the latter was the one that was far more interesting, but you know,
what's the
still the last one that I mentioned.
I understand.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we'll be back. Stay tuned. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC. WMSC Upper Montclair. We're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You're listening to the Digital Dash and the kind of the waning hours of the Digital Dash. I'm being joined by Mr. Alejandro Arceo.
What is up?
What's up? And my mortal enemy, Mr. Mike Cavalier.
Tom Brady dropped it.
Okay, how long were you thinking of? How long
just
were you
came
saving
to me.
that?
Just came
to you. I was surprised. You could have said a lot more like Philly slanted things.
That's
probably you couldn't say on air, but just honestly, because that's how Philly fans are. But you know, we're back, everybody, and as promised, we're going to be talking about Aquaman and Spider-Verse. First up being Aquaman, of course, which we saw thanks to the Prime. What is it? The Amazon Prime Instant Early Access, whatever it was called.
Yeah, there were some early showings of Aquaman Saturday night. If you had Amazon Prime, you could buy tickets to these showings. And thanks to the college discount, I have Amazon Prime.
That was dope.
And so we went to see it down in Bridgewater at a nice little dine-in movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
We got a nice plate of nachos and
whatever, some bread. What even was that?
It was nachos, pretzel bites.
Pretzel bites. Okay,
and
there we go.
chicken tenders.
I was just having a good old time, by the way. It was great. It was really good. Good food.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
food.
You know, I didn't mention this that night, but now that did you notice with the waitress put a little heart on our receipt? I think she had a little crush on you.
What?
I didn't realize until we got out of the theater.
No, she did it.
I swear to God. I swear to gosh. I don't know if I can.
Lies.
You kind of sort of can't. No, I don't. Whatever, man.
I promise you, there was a heart. There was a heart on the receipt.
Really?
Yeah, we should go back.
We should go back.
Her name was Colleen. I remember.
That never happens to me.
Wait, because no, that can't possibly be the person I actually know. Never mind.
That was the name on the receipt.
That's weird. You gotta show me that receipt. I'm gonna get home and then it's gonna be like, I hate you. And then Cav lied to me. He was just building me up so he could bring me down. That's what he does,
I promise you on this one.
Yeah. So I just wanna tell a quick story. So you know how like of course older people use words that lingo that just isn't we've never heard of or just isn't used anymore.
Yeah, like old bean. No, do people say
what?
That? Young chap.
Whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper. That's a better one.
Sure.
I stink.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, anyways, I was working at my family's restaurant the other day, and I'm like, oh, would you like something to drink? And he's like, and this old guy, he's like, yeah, I'll take a Coke, and I'll take it neat. I'm like, what? He's like, I'll take it neat. And then she's like, and then his daughter, I'm guessing, was like, ice, no ice. And I'm like, so neat means no ice? I felt like
You're like an alien.
No, I felt like saying something like just saying something back like, oh, then what's with ice? Dirty? but I was like, nah, this guy. But then,
get out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you don't like dirty Coke?
And Cav's gone. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You broke my Cavalier. I thought it was gonna be me who did it, but somehow it wasn't me.
He's your ride home.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, that's funny though. It's like if
That's
something
so funny.
with something with no ice is neat, then what's it with ice? Dirty. I'll take it messy.
I kind of hope that this story with this waitress of ours like just continues. That would be a great story. I can't wait.
Should we go back to Bridgewater and try to find out?
No. First, you got to show me the receipt because I'm like 85% sure that you're just messing with me. But
okay, we'll talk about this off air. But I promise you, this is 100% real.
All right. But yeah, as we were supposed to talk about, we watched Aquaman, which, first of all, also, by the way, the movie actually started like at 7, basically. We were talking about this, like, we were like, no way they just only showed 2 previews. And they only showed 2 previews.
That was the best part. That was the best part of the night. I was like, oh, man, I'm not going to go home till like after 11 o'clock with like half-hour previews. And then started at 7:07 on the dot.
Previews really used to be like half an hour. Now they're about 22 minutes, 20 minutes.
Now they're longer, man.
They're longer?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Now it's like they add like 6 more trailers. Wow. I remember it being like maybe 4 or 5, and now it's like 8. I mean, for Spider-Verse started at, we saw it at 11:15, right?
11.
It started at like 11:22, if I'm not mistaken. So, excuse me. So that just shows you, like, you know.
This is why I never really go that early.
It's fair. Yeah, we don't either. We usually try to like just wait.
There have been times where I get to movie theater early, and you see the previews before the previews, where they're like local ads.
Oh yeah. Yeah, then you know you messed up.
Yeah.
Narrator, he messed up. So Aquaman, directed by James Wan. It comes out this Friday, or this Thursday. I should say. Yeah. We got the early access thing of it and whatnot. First reaction is it's fine. It's a fine movie. It is very, very flawed in a lot of areas, especially when it comes to a lot of the villains in the movie, especially when it comes to just an over-reliance on CGI, although, to be fair, it is an Aquaman movie, and sometimes it felt like it was necessary. But there's points towards the end of the movie that are just like, this is just a little bit too much. My eyes are about to explode. But at times it stinks, because at times when things aren't like rapidly in motion, like the CGI actually looks pretty beautiful, and there's really some awesome-looking character designs and the design of Atlantis itself. And in general, it's just a mishmash, like grand amalgamation of like 8 different types of movies. It's like Thor Ragnarok crossed with the birth culture, like the birth kingsmanship type of stuff from Black Panther, crossed with like, I don't even like Star Wars.
I was gonna say some of the visuals, especially there was one underwater fight scene that, like, it was just a cross between like CGI, and it kind of reminds me of a scene in episode 2, the Clone Wars, at the end, where the Clone Wars had just begun, and they like Yoda goes, "Begun, the Clone Wars have," and it zooms out, and you just see like a bunch of red and blue lasers like firing back at each other, and that's kind of where that one underwater fight scene reminded me of, and it was just I think that kind of was indicative of the whole movie, where, you know, it's tough making an Aquaman movie and making it seem natural, just because most of the scenes inherently are going to be in water or some combination. So those kind of have to be CGI or some type of CGI, and it's hard to make a movie that long with that much CGI seem, you know, like normal,
kind of coherent and normal, and not look like you're like, it's a tough thing to do, and I think for the most part they did it okay. The movie really is like all over. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it starts off like an 80s action movie with him entering the submarine, and, you know, you being introduced to Prime, like Aquaman, he's older now and all that stuff. And then it gets into like, I don't even know what it gets into after that. And the movie also, I didn't realize, it takes place after Justice League, which...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually does. He saved the world, or helped save the world at this point, from this Steppenwolf dude or whatever, which they mentioned.
So this really does take place after...
It does, and also with the whole DC thing, the movie does not really have a lot of connections to the outside DC extended universe, which I think is a good thing. I think they have to try and just like pretend things didn't happen for now and just focus on making good movies. This is probably the second best thing that they've done, in my opinion, aside from Wonder Woman. And shout out Kayla Marcato. She wanted a shout out. So there you go. I'm trying to think of a
we're
line.
Moving on.
What happened?
I said we're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on. And that was my thing with it. I thought that like some of the performances, actually most of the performances, I thought I was fine with. Momoa is clearly a star as Aquaman, and also just in general. He's clearly going to be a big movie star very soon, if not already. He just lives up. He's living it up. You know what I mean? He's great in the he's just great in the role, and he just looks like he's having a lot of fun. I also enjoyed Amber Heard as Mara, I forgot how do you say her name,
Mara,
who's like the daughter, like also the royalty. I actually was upset that she wasn't not that she wasn't featured in the movie more, but they have a lot of interactions with each other in this movie. And when they're on screen together, I actually thought their chemistry was pretty good. And I was like, I really wish that more of the movie was them kind of like exploring. It also becomes Indiana Jones for like 15 minutes, which is interesting.
Yeah. It was interesting because I felt like at some points, especially one of the underwater scenes, it was kind of leading to like kind of a scavenger hunt, like search around the world type movie. But they kind of condensed that entire movie down to like a 15-minute like mini arc.
Yeah.
And then got right back into the main arc of the movie.
Mm-hmm. But I think one thing about the movie, and maybe it's intentional, but it's just when you start to think about what we saw in this movie, it's like that was ridiculous. It goes from being a gladiator match to that underwater ship from the Phantom Menace that they fly in. Oh, Cooper fish!
There's always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger fish. And going to, like I said, Indiana Jones, and then you have this. I think this is the weakest part about the movie, honestly, is the Black Manta character, who feels like they were trying to make him. You get him because in the comic books, apparently, he's a really great character, and he's one of the DC's like strongest like villains. But in this, I love the costume at the end, like that red Cyclops eye thing that he has,
like an E.T.
Yeah, like the E.T. on like steroids. I like that, like the visual aesthetic of it, and the action sequences against him were actually pretty cool. But his like motivation is basically, like, he doesn't like Aquaman for something that happens at the very beginning of the movie. And my thing is like, were y'all trying to like make him as relatable as like Killmonger from Black Panther? Because it wasn't at all. I was kind of looking at this guy like, I don't feel bad for you at all. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's not like you were just thrown into something, you know, like what happens with Eric Killmonger, of course, which you really feel bad for, and you're like, wow, I get why you're bad now. And I feel like he's just in there, and then he's just kind of gone.
Yeah, I was just saying, that's the problem. Outside of the origin story, so to speak, is that he appears in the beginning of the movie, you don't know who he is, and then midway through, you see you figure out who he is, and then he disappears, and then he comes back and gets his butt kicked.
Well, he did some butt kicking too, but then he is gone.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, he's just not gonna like. It just felt like a random commercial break almost, right, for lack of a better term, and they just kind of went down that path, and I was like, that's weird.
Like, yeah. At some points, I thought that they were gonna make it, because I was thinking like, we saw this guy at the beginning of the movie and they just abandoned him. Like, I was like, okay, so there's still another act to come. We're still missing a huge part of the movie.
It feels like they were intending, or in an early write-up of the movie, that he would be the main villain, but then changed their minds, but then changed their mind again, and then really changed their mind.
Decided to have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, they were like, and then it's just, that's the problem with the movie. It's all over the place. I'm not talking about just the genre blending that's going on here. I'm talking about the arc of the story, and also, it has my second biggest my power rankings for most unintentionally hilarious things I've seen in a movie this year. It is towards the end of the movie, spoiler alert, there's a kissing scene, and it takes place in the middle of this epic civil war with explosions and, you know, ostensibly just a lot of people dying, and it's just really like, all right, y'all want to like, I thought it was a little bit like, it sucks because I thought they actually had some chemistry. I thought it would have been better if it felt forced though. It felt like, let's just do this instead of like waiting for another movie because I really did get it. I was like, oh, these guys, like, they actually have some chemistry together, but then you just jump and then all these people are dying. There's explosions around and it's like unintentionally really funny. I was laughing. I don't know if you heard me.
That kiss definitely could have happened in that movie, but in that scene, it was just weird because, you know, they were like, this fight has to stop. People are dying. Quick, you have to go right now. And then they have, you know, a 45-second kiss where it just kind of like, well, you know, you should probably go like stop this fighting.
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of unintentional comedy in this movie, but I would say, I don't think it's a good movie necessarily, but I would say at least there are some memorable things, and you can walk out of the movie going, this could be potentially like a dumb movie I rent and we have a fun time just because of how crazy it is to watch it. You know what I mean? It's not very well organized. It's got some cool action scenes though. But the performances, I think, from Heard and from Jason Momoa are especially good, and I just wish that the two of them were on screen doing things together more and using their teamwork and whatever that the developments that they go through. I wish they were more together. But that's it. That's all my thoughts on Aquaman. I'm running out of time. That's why I'm trying to speed up.
I would last thing on Aquaman, I would say overall, the movie was a little bit all over the place, and I think the kind of genre blending, like the mix of Thor and Black Panther and Star Wars, it almost worked. Like it wasn't a complete flop. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't really work, but it didn't flop.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the writing was slightly writing and dialogue was like slightly below average.
Yeah. Okay.
Visuals were, I think
the visuals, when they weren't doing crazy action, when it's just they're showing you Atlantis, when they're kind of like like you just see the costume designs of some of these people when they're talking in that underwater like air pocket stuff. You know what I mean? That looks great. But then sometimes CGI, I'm like, this is a little bit too much.
Right. And I think that the overall story arc of the movie was probably slightly below average. Mm-hmm. So overall, it's probably like a slightly below average movie, which for DC is probably
for DC it's
a step up.
It's a win. You know what I mean? But in terms of just wins, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about the real win. You know what I mean, Cav? Like, let's just go.
Let's do it.
We got 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, everybody. Yes, I'm talking about Spider-Man again. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We can though. We can though. We're allowed to.
It is the year of Spider-Man, as I've proclaimed it to be.
Decade of Spider-Man.
This is a movie that Phil Lord and Chris Miller have been a part of, and if you don't know who they are, they've been behind kind of like all of the big animated comedies of the past while. They first came on to scene with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They're the ones who were behind the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie, and I think they were part of the Lego Batman movie a little bit, but and of course, infamously, they were fired from directing the Solo: A Star Wars story, and then they were part of this. Phil Lord at least was largely, and they really specialize in this kind of meta humor, but also things that pay tribute and homage to whatever the property is that they're doing. You know what I mean? So Lego Movie is like that, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs certainly was too. And you know, watching this movie, you see it. You're like, okay, I get why these two were part of this, because the movie it's both a love letter to all things Spider-Man, and there's a lot of Spider people in this movie, but it's also like this very self-aware, kind of irreverent look at comic books and everything in general. And it's my first reaction is this is just one of my favorite movies I've seen this year. It really is. And
absolutely,
maybe people will say I'm biased, but the animation is beautiful. Like, it's the aesthetic of this movie is like, people say this a lot when a good comic book movie comes out. They're like, it felt like a comic book story. Homecoming. It felt like I was reading Spider-Man comic or Black Panther or the Avengers, and this is like as close I think you can get to just that specific kind of descriptor that you'll get, because literally the speech bubbles will pop up, his thoughts or whatever, and it becomes a comic book. The way they introduce characters and the origin stories is both funny and awesome, where it's like, all right, for the last time, it shows like the Peter Parker Spider-Man like detailing everything, I saved the city and all that stuff, but they do so in a way that it's like self-aware, where they get it, that you are sick and tired of hearing all these origin stories. We get it, but it does it in a really funny way with a lot of them, not just Miles Morales, but especially with some of the other Spider people that you meet across the movies, and one of them being Spider-Man Noir, which is like this 1930s like curmudgeon bedraggled character that is really, really funny in the movie, voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Let's just stop on that for a sec.
Yeah, go for it.
This was an all-star cast.
This
was a
high key
incredible cast. Mm-hmm. Nick Cage, Haley Steinfeld, Chris Pine, right?
Chris Pine plays the. Should I say what happens?
No, he plays one of the Spider-Mans.
Chris Pine plays one of the Spider-Mans, your Spider-Man that you're kind of used to.
John Mulaney,
Spider-Ham.
Yeah, he plays Spider-Ham. Peter Porker has his.
John Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
You know from Tag. No, I'm kidding. That's what he's in, but you'll know him from New Girl.
New Girl. Nick from New Girl.
And I thought he was great, by the way.
Yes.
Because he plays this like midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis
Spider-Man type of guy. You know what I mean? He's the that's me, Spider-Man. The scene with him saying that he's working out or whatever, that was hilarious. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, they really just get it. And, you know, you've got Mahershala Ali's in this, Lily Tomlin's in this, voicing May Parker. Mahershala Ali does Aaron Davis, which is Miles Morales' uncle. Nick Cage does Spider-Man Noir. Brian Tyree Henry is Miles' dad, the police officer. Chris Pine, like you said, voices the original Spider-Man, and then Jake Johnson does the other Spider-Man. It's really cool, and Spider-Gwen is in this. They refer to her as Spider-Woman, but in the comic book, she's Spider-Gwen. That's just for a thing or whatever. This is not a big deal, but I'm just saying that's what she's known as. And, you know, the way they tell the origins of these characters is it's both hilarious, like when they introduce new ones, you know what I mean? Right. Miles is the one that the story basically revolves around the most, which is this half African-American and Puerto Rican kid. He was introduced by Brian Michael Bendis not too long ago being like 2013 was when the character was first introduced, after Donald Glover famously was like, I should play Spider-Man, and then they made the character. That's just a true story. You can look it up. That's why in Community season 2, when he's getting out of the bed and he has a Spider-Man costume on.
Oh, really?
That's why he did that, yeah.
So are we getting a Donald Glover Spider-Man movie confirmed?
No. I mean, he's already Aaron Davis in the live action, remember?
Yeah, but that's a different universe.
Yeah, and now that makes me interested to see what they do with it, especially what you see what that character, because you get more backstory in this movie about who Aaron Davis is. But this movie is very much, it's centered around the Miles Morales Spider-Man and his origin, essentially, and his, you know what I mean? Like, the movie's a lot about masks and different characters that it's trying to send a message, right? And what's interesting is obviously the message is, you know, this kind of diversity and, you know what I mean? Like, it's
also, yes.
It's like a cultural message that works well, and that anyone can wear the mask and that anyone can be Spider-Man, doesn't matter almost. But it also expertly, it doesn't feel preachy at all throughout the entire movie. It's just like, this is what it is. And it's true. One of my favorite things in the movie, I was smiling. Like, it was the first time in a while, honestly, I've watched a movie where I was like, that's me. And that's when they first showed the Spider-Man, like original Spider-Man. They show, hey, you know me, I saved the city and all this stuff. Like, he goes through that thing. And then they cut to Miles, who's listening to his music or whatever. And very hilarious, a really funny scene that happens there too, that we won't get into. Because I really do want everyone to see this for themselves. But then they have this, like, him walking down the street, and they have, like, you know, people speaking Spanish, and you have the hip-hop music. And it was like, that was me. Like, I couldn't believe, like, especially the Hispanic part, like, which is people in my family. I'm so used to that. Where it was like, I can't believe I feel like I'm a character. I can't believe I feel like I can relate to, especially when it comes to comic books, for me to relate to the character. Not just by, you know, the exterior features. I feel like I related to regular Spider-Man more. But just that whole thing, like, they really captured this Brooklyn vibe, for lack of a, you know, and time to explain what I mean by that. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel messagey. It's just like, hey, yeah, this is what Brooklyn is. Like, we're not going to just show you Peter Parker, white, blonde, blue-eyed, because that's not what everybody is, you know, like, that's just a kind of a fact. It's like Queens and Brooklyn. That's been a big complaint of some of the Spider-Man movies, and I think Homecoming did a good job of that, by the way, too, where they had more diversity with the characters, because that's just what it is. And that's what I really liked about it. You see yourself in a lot of these characters, and all of them work well, and it is a funny movie, dude. I laughed a lot in this movie.
It was funny. I also think that besides everything you just said, it was also a coming of age movie.
Yeah.
At its core.
Yeah. So that's another thing I like about it.
Oh shoot! I just had. Oh well. But yeah, I thought it was great coming of age movie. It was funny, and honestly, sometimes it was almost tear jerking. Like, there were some scenes where it was
scenes for sure.
Like really, really good, really well done.
It follows all the beats.
Right.
It gets all the beats right. The script is just incredible. Like, every line, not every line obviously, but it's just like, everything that happens in this movie, I do think that towards the end it gets a little bit chaotic, just a little bit, but it still looks incredible visually that you almost don't care. And just seeing more of this movie, seeing Miles mature as a person, it's got a lot of hilarity, like, not hilarity, but it's a really funny movie. And I honestly don't, what's funny is that it's Spider-Verse, and you have Spider-Gwen, you have basically the anime internet Spider-Man Penny Parker, as like this person who her dad is living in the robotic suit of a it's like weird, and then Spider-Man Noir, and then Spider-Gwen, and then Peter Porker, and all these people, and you would think before you watch the movie, you're like, this is too much, like, this must be super confusing. And about 30, like, when all these people are being introduced, I say, like, the Penny Parker, and, like, you know, the anime one, basically the robot one, Spider-Man Noir, and John Mulaney's character are very obviously kind of like the comic relief, but they work, and you're not really overwhelmed, and they all work. I mean, Nicolas Cage has the funniest lines in this movie, in my opinion. Like, his whole, like, shtick of like
there was a point, like,
yeah, like, oh, so dark, and he's like, so, like, you know what I mean, like, this morbid existence that he has, where he's like, such a dark story, like, I lost but it's like a cliche, you know what I mean? He's playing it up, this caricature of this noir thing, and it's also even funnier when you know more about Nick Cage's career and how funny he is within himself. Speaking of internet and memes, yeah. I just think that he works really well.
Because, you know, and speaking of Nicolas Cage, I was laughing a lot when so you know how he was almost Superman at one point?
Yeah.
he voiced Superman in Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I find
that movie
funny.
apparently was good.
I liked
I'm gonna
it.
look it up.
I liked it.
I'm gonna watch it when I get the chance.
It was good.
All right, we have 60 seconds left. I say we spend that 60 seconds.
No,
talking about Venom.
No, we're not talking about
Venom.
Venom. But I'm really, I loved it, man. Like I've talked about Spider-Man a lot on the show. It's my favorite character of anything, but this just satisfies so many levels. I didn't expect it. And also, I think it'd be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye out when it comes to Oscars because it's already won, despite these awards being announced before the movie just got released to everybody. It already won Best Animated Feature for the LA Film Critics Circle and the New York Film Critics Circle. So I'm kind of curious to see, in a year that The Incredibles 2 came out, and just in a category, Best Animated Movie, that Pixar typically dominates, whether or not, like, what would that mean something? Like, I think that'd be really cool because it's a positive movie that preaches inclusivity, but not in a way that feels, like I said, preachy. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like that. It feels natural. And every character feels diverse in a bunch of different ways. And I thought they all worked really, really well. But yeah, that's it. Just as we, past the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It's time that we, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it, man. Mm-hmm. That about does it for today's season finale edition. Okay. Hold on. Can you get my Journey song real quick? Yeah. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. That about does it for today's season finale of the Digital Dash. Remember that you can always tune into the show every Monday from 4 to 7 p.m. here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair or the iHeartRadio app, because I will be back for season 3 for winter break. Possibly next week. You'll hear from me soon about that. I'm pretty sure I can, but have to confirm about that. It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to convince Javi to have me on for a Christmas Eve show.
Mm-hmm. But as always, to close things out, it's Journey with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Remember, everyone, never accept the world for what it appears to be. Dare to say it. Dare to see it for what it could be. I'm Javier Reyes, and I hope you all have a terrific night. See you next time.